Hello, everybody from Jupiter High School. Tonight, the Jupiter Warriors will open the high school football season playing Lakes High School from Palm Beach. And they're having, as you can see, the coin toss right now to get an idea as to who will have the football first. It's going to be interesting. I'm Brett Weibel. I'm joined by my son, Bart Weibel. Justin Hedges will be on the camera tonight. The initial broadcast of the Big W Sports Network. We're excited to be here. Bart, a beautiful night for football.
Yeah, very nice. Cooled off nicely after the heat of the day. And good night for football. Great day to kick off the season and see if Jupiter can pull out a win here at home for their first game of the season. Start the season off right, 1-0.
Well, as you saw there, Lakes won the toss, and they will take it. So the Rams will have the football first. It'll be Jupiter kicking off. Quarterback for Palm Beach Lakes High School is going to be Isaiah Sneed, number 6. And he's got some very quick wide receivers to throw through. Quentin Kelly, number 4. Arkevius Brown is a wide receiver. He's number 5. And their running back is J.D. Coleman. They also have Stephen Lewis that plays the wide receiver position. And we do have a little bit of a wind tonight. It's actually a crosswind that's blowing from the far side of the field right into the face of the press box here, but otherwise a gorgeous night. That's probably keeping it a little bit comfortable down on the field, a little more so than if that breeze was not blowing.
Yeah, one of those south to north winds. You never know what direction the wind's going to be blowing in Florida. It can come from any direction at any time.
Coleman and Lewis are the 2 deep backs for the Rams. Football is teed up, and we're ready to start. It's got to be placed on the tee, and we'll get underway momentarily from Jupiter High School, home of the Warriors. A little hard to read some of the numbers up here. I believe that's Parrish kicking off, 22. He'll run up and put a foot into it, and it's going to be a short kick. That's going to be taken by one of the other backs, and he falls down right on the 28-yard line.
Called for a fair catch there.
Okay.
And the Lakes will open up their first drive of the season, 1st and 10 on their own 29-yard line.
Okay, they're going to call it 29. Just underway. 12 minutes to play, first quarter, as we said. Isaiah Sneed will be the quarterback for the Rams. He'll bring him up to the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's going to go in a shotgun. He's got split running backs on each shoulder. He's got twin receivers on the far side of the football field and a single man on the near side. Barks out the signals. Puts a man in motion, has a snap, and wants to throw. Now gets flushed, tries to run, and is grabbed and pulled down. A good tackle out there by, well, it's hard to pick that number up, Bart. I think 18.
Yeah, the numbers on the Jupiter uniform is tough to pick up.
Ryan Tomasi.
Number 18.
Well, that was a good play there in the open
Great
field.
opening play. The quarterback checked off 1, 2, 3 receivers. Didn't find one open. Tried to tuck it under and run, but had nowhere to go. Stopped for no gain.
2nd down and 10. Sneed. This time has trips on the near side of the football field. A single wide receiver on the far side. He's got a lone running back there. He is going to step up in the pocket, and he's hit, and he goes down. After a short gain, he tried to run, and that might have been Tomasi that came up and made the hit on him again, along with help from number 9, Griffin Garland. And Garland is a guy that we expect to call his name a lot. He's one of the outstanding football players on this team. Mark it out to the 32, gain of 3. And call it 3rd down, now and 7. So 3rd and long. Trips on the near side. Single man on the far side. Sneed has a running back on his right shoulder. He will look to his right, wants to throw, there's it out there, and it is tipped away. Boy, a nice play defensively by Jupiter, and I believe that was number 6, maybe?
6 or 5.
Jerome Davis would be number 5, and if it was him, it's a little hard to pick those numbers up, but boy, that was a nice knock away, and it'll bring up a punting situation for Lakes.
Real nice play there. The quarterback threw up a pass a little bit wobbly, but the receiver had a chance to run underneath. The timing was pretty good, but Jupiter got back, tipped it away, incomplete, and the first drive defensively for them, a successful one on the season.
Looks like Stephen Lewis will be in punt formation for the Rams. Snap is a high one, loops its way to him, but he gets a kick away, not a particularly good one. It's going to take a good bounce, though, and fielded by Jupiter, and down at about the 30-yard line is
Cody Wilson there.
Okay, he returned it for about 5 yards, and that's where the Warriors will start 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Any yardage on a play like that isn't bad yardage, because that's a dangerous play, picking that up, trying to return it, and not just calling for a fair catch or taking it down immediately. But nice to get out a little bit further into their own territory, and they'll start opposite what Lakes did on their first drive on their own 30-yard line.
Lined up in a single wing, and it goes on a straight snap, and the ball carrier is going to gain about 3 yards. Try to pick up who that was that ran the ball that time. 23, I think, Bart, was the number that I saw, and that's Luciano Wallace. And he picks up about 3. We're to bring up a 2nd down and 7.
Well, positive yardage on their first play from scrimmage.
Again, they line up in the single wing. No quarterback, just straight snap to a ball carrier. And we've got all kinds of movement. This will be interesting. It looked like the Rams might have moved first, but they're all pointing towards Jupiter, and it was Jupiter, I think, that went before the snap count. And then it will be the penalty and back it up 5 yards to the 28, I believe. Or it'll now be 2nd down and 12. That changes things a little bit, especially when you're running this particular offense.
Well, it's a different offense from what you see a lot of times, but early in the season you see these types of things, some miscommunication, not sure of the snap counts, and little penalty there.
And the ball carrier dives up to about the 31-yard line, a gain of about 3. Almost back to the original line of scrimmage, a little bit ahead of it. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Gain of 3 on the play. That brings up to 3rd and 9, Warriors.
Warriors have a 3rd and 9. Again, though, they're in the single wing. They're going to try to get outside to the right. He's got a little bit of a hole, but Lakes is there to stop that after a gain of about a yard. And that's all. Got up to about the 32 to bring up a 4th down and 8, and it'll be a punting situation now for Jupiter.
So very similar drives for each team on their first drive of the season here.
But you talked about it, penalties and turnovers. Those are things you don't want to have, especially early, and the penalty took away any chance for Jupiter on that drive.
Would have been an interesting 3rd down play had they had both plays there as positive yardage. Instead of being backed up 5, would have brought up about a 3rd and 1.
So Jupiter will punt the ball away. The snap is a good one. And a good kick away, and it's going to be fielded. I believe that's Lewis, and he's tackled right there. Boy, great downfield coverage.
Kick goes to the near side, met right away by Chase Sanders.
Well, Chase was really there waiting on him. And it'll be 30-yard line for 1st and 10 for the Rams.
Trading 30s so far.
8 minutes, 21 seconds left to play. First quarter of action here from Jupiter High School. No score in the contest. Both teams were pretty much 3 and out there in that first series, and now Lakes will set up in the shotgun. Snead has the ball. Hands it off to the ball carrier. Bounces it to the right side. Tries to get out and can't do it. And number 3 came up and closed. Cody Wilson.
Good job by Cody Wilson. Also the kick returner. So we know he's got a little bit of speed. He closed ground there quickly and stopped him on the outside before he could go for a big gain. Got him to a gain of about,
I'm going to call it 2, Bart.
about 2.
2.5. Snead in the gun. He's got trips on the near side, a single man on the far. He's got the snap, had to go up high to get it. Has a man wide open in the middle of the field. Has the 1st down. Got that pass out for number 10, Chauncey White. who takes it all the way up. It looks like right across the 45, 46-yard line. 14-yard pickup.
So that's our first big game of the evening offensively that we've seen. And now Lakes with the best field position of either team here early in the ball game.
They go on a quick count here and hand the ball off to number 12, J.D. Coleman, and he slams straight ahead. Tried to catch Jupiter napping, and a nice game there of about 4 yards.
Gets it right up to midfield, and a little more yardage here, and they'll break into Jupiter territory.
Second down and 6, Sneed in the gun. He will hand it off to the ball carrier, and he's got an opening, and he's got a first down. That was number 12, I believe, Coleman again, who did the nice dance in the backfield there to avert a defender and carries the ball down inside the 45, down the 43-yard line.
Good gainer, a couple first downs real quick here by Lakes, and all of a sudden they're moving, putting some pressure on the Jupiter defense.
First and 10 at the 43. Split backs on either side of Sneed and the gun, a man in motion. He'll hand the ball off to the first back, and that looked like number 8, Denzel Smith. Felt like more like a fullback.
Yeah,
he takes it down to the 40, so he gains 3 on that carry.
Definitely a big kid there, kind of a bruiser up there on the line, but gets through the line a little bit. Takes it right up to the Jupiter 40-yard line. It'll be second and about 7.
Sneed in the shotgun. Trip receivers near side, single man on the far side. No score in the ball game. Rams on the move here. They've marched it to the Jupiter 40-yard line. Long count by Sneed, hands it off, and running up the middle, a big hole, number 12 again with that football, J.D. Coleman, and I believe he got another first down. He did. He takes it all the way down to the 31-yard line, a gain of 9, and another first down for the Rams.
Another pretty big game, and they're going quick, getting right back up to the line.
Almost so quick I can't get the yard marker written down. 31-yard line's the line of scrimmage, first and 10. Sneed has trips on the near side. That's been their set most of the game. He will hand the ball off. They're going to run it, and they give it to number 12 again, Coleman. And Coleman, this time, stopped for a gain of 1 to the 30.
Short gain on that one. Run, and finally Jupiter catches up. The offense opened up a little bit. Whenever they had that complete pass to the middle of the field. And that opened up the running lanes for a few plays. They got some decent gains on the ground, but Jupiter caught up with them and figured run again.
Second and 9, and a flag is thrown. They might have used up too much time. You always wonder about that. We don't have a actual play clock here, and now it does look like it's going to go against the offense, so that's going to be a penalty.
Well, Lakes, of course, will hope that's not a drive killer. Had a very good drive going here. Got another first down. Got another first down, a short gain on first down last time. And then back them up 5 more, so now they got second and 14.
Second and 14 at the 35 after that penalty. Sneed has split backs on either side of him. Twin wideouts on the near side. A man in motion. He's going to hand back against the seam, and he's got a nice hole for number 8, who carries the football for about, looked like 7 or 8 yards. That's Denzel Smith, and he just about shook a tackle and was gone. They're going to mark him at the 28, it looks like, so he gained 7.
Pretty decent spot there for Jupiter, really, is the way it turns out, but a nice gain. Gained everything from the penalty back. And a little bit more, brings up a manageable third down here.
Third down and 7. Trips on the near side. He wants to throw that way, and he gets a quick hitter, and he runs right out of a tackle and tries to get to the sticks. Going to be very close. Nice move there by the wide receiver after he caught that football. And he danced around. That was number 5.
I'm guessing they're going to measure this.
Brown.
Marquise Brown on the reception.
Marquise Brown, and he made a real nice move to get away. And if he gets the first down, of course, they'll go for it, I would think, here. You're down real close to the red zone. Anyway, going to have a timeout here and for a measurement. Impressive drive here by Lakes. Just started on their own 30-yard line. So
I think that one ended up being one of the water break timeouts there. They're going to go ahead and call it fourth and a foot or two.
well, that's going to give me a chance to
Indeed.com.
Say that make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard McCoy at Signature Financial Solutions, 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach. Set your course for financial security. Phone 561-596-2743. From the shotgun, 3 men in the backfield, split wide receivers each way. You would think that they're going to just try to run for the first down here. Now some confusion on which side he wants the running back. Snead awaits the snap. Now man in motion, going to hand the ball off and trying to get to the edge, and I don't think he made it. That was number 8, Denzel Smith, who's a strong running back, and somebody came up and forced him out of bounds. What a nice play for Jupiter.
That was real nice. They had 3 options in the backfield. Picked really the guy in the back of the formation. The other 2 split out to each side. He took the ball, tried to take it to the far side, got stood up, and it'll be Jupiter ball.
Well, there's a penalty flag over there, but I think Jupiter in the preliminary indication was holding against Lakes, so I would assume that they will decline that. They will, and they'll take the football. I'm going to see where they mark that ball, right on the 25-yard line.
So we'll see if Jupiter in their second drive can get a little something going like Lakes did, and maybe finish it off and see if we can see some of our first points in the ball game.
Well, here they go with a single T again, single wing formation. Don't see this much. Snap goes straight ahead, and following the tacklers is the Jupiter running back and takes it right up the middle.
Gain of about 8. That was a good push by the front line. He just followed them right along, and slow but steady.
That might have been Carter, the ball carrier. I'm thinking. Give him 8 on
Brings up a Jupiter 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2. Out at the 30, looks like the 33-yard line. And a snap to Carter again, but nothing doing there. They're really working the inside. They haven't really tried to get to the edge of, I think, one time, and they had some successful yardage out of that, but here they go nowhere. It'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Football still at the 33-yard line.
Maybe a case of Lakes being a little bit faster on the outside, and they know they need to try to push the middle and get to a hole quick instead of trying to wait for something to open up. If they can get beat on the outside by Lakes, but on that second down play, push back a little bit.
And now a flag thrown as they stay with the single wing, and actually Lakes came up and stopped that play. Now another flag thrown, now another one, and we've got a couple of guys that might be in danger of being tossed from this ball game. There's fists being thrown, and the officials are trying to separate them and still having difficulty in doing so. Don't like to see that. I think every official threw their flag on that one, so we'll see what happens here, Bart, when this is all straightened out. You don't like to see that in an athletic contest. Boy.
Yeah, never a good thing, and what they teach their athletes really is to take a knee when something like that happens so it doesn't escalate. Didn't look like that happened in that situation there, of course, but heated exchange between a Lakes and Jupiter player. Hopefully they determine that nobody else engaged in anything such as that, because that'll probably mean a couple of ejections right there.
Well, I'm thinking that too. As I see the officials, all 5 of them huddled up right there at the 45-yard line. They'll try to sort through this. Of course, they don't have the ability to actually look at any replay. That's what colleges would do, or professionals, and they would know who the guilty party was. All I know is that the ball was run up the middle, the flag was thrown, might have had motion right away on the play, and then the tackle was made, and the ball carrier was stopped really for no gain, and the whistles blew, I thought, pretty quickly. I thought that, it wasn't that they were a late whistle, but boy, there was some tempers that flared up after that.
Oh, for sure. The play was over. The 2 individuals that got into it were actually downfield a little bit past the line of scrimmage, And looked like they got caught up in one another. And when trying to get up, one wanted to get up before the other. Some pushing started, and the pushing escalated to some fists being thrown, it looked like. And that's probably going to cost each of those players not just this game, but a couple more.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if the two guys that were throwing fists are not ejected. And to tell you the truth, I didn't get to know it all happened so fast. I didn't pick up who they were. One thing that I know concerned the Jupiter administration, particularly on this side, is one of the players in street clothes started out on the field. A coach grabbed him right away and got him escorted off. You don't want that. You can't have that happen.
Yeah, you don't want any escalation, and that's part of the FHSAA. They really stress sportsmanship, and they don't want these types of things to happen. And when they do, as I said before, they really like to see all the athletes not involved take a knee, so they cannot be punished for anything.
Willie Sneed III is the head coach of Palm Beach Lakes, and a couple of officials were talking to him, and of course Doug Usolini, the coach for Jupiter, and a couple of officials were talking to him. Mike DiLeonardo, the athletic director, out there too. But good job by both sides to really cool people off and calm people down as quickly as they could. And also the principal for Jupiter High School, Dan Frank, was out there right away too, and that was good to see the adults and the administration step in and take control. Now we're still trying to work out here with 3:03 left to play in the first quarter, and a scoreless ball game here at Jupiter. Exactly where the ball's going to be placed. That's probably the biggest thing right now.
Well, it's one of those things that are they going to penalize one team or the other more, or there's going to be offsetting penalties, and things just kind of start back up from where they were. And I'm sure they're sorting that out, as well as which players were involved and who needs to be reprimanded for their action. And
well, I know that I saw a helmet come off in the middle of that melee, and sometimes that will get you an ejection as well. But it may have been more than one. It was hard to. There was so much action going on. I was really trying to watch the ball, and the real actual fisticuffs was about midfield, and that was about 10 yards, or 15, 20 yards away from everything else.
Yeah, like I said, they were downfield a little bit. The running back was stopped probably even before the line of scrimmage.
Don't forget that Jupiter Agricultural is land sale, September 28th.
Okay, there we see offsetting roughness on both teams, so that's what the call is now.
Personal foul each team.
Personal foul on both teams, unnecessary roughness. I don't know if they're going to eject anybody or not.
Anything going to be assessed?
I don't know if there's been an ejection or not.
I'm not sure that we would know that either.
I hear so.
I don't know. He's got to get subjection.
So that's it. That's the only call.
Offset. Personal foul.
So it looks like we're going to still have a third down, and I guess we'll do it all over again. Third and call it 2 yards, 1.5 at the 30. Really, it's at the 34. Bart's right. It's third one at the 34.
From the 33-yard line.
So after all that,
We just
Jupiter
do it all
could
over
still
again.
pick up a first down. It's amazing.
Both of the individuals were tossed from the game.
Okay. Both the guys were ejected. Now they're going to try a pass. Going to throw it out here. They've got a man open, but I think it went off the fingertips.
Off his fingertips and out of bounds at about the 47. Would have been well more than a first down. But
Griffin Garland was the man that tried to pass. I'm not sure who the intended receiver was.
52, Randy Oliver, I believe. But I don't know.
So now you've got a fourth down and 1 at the 34-yard line, and the punter is on again.
That was an interesting play called by Jupiter there whenever they just needed about a yard for the first down to go ahead and put the ball in the air and try to get some more.
It was, and he was open. The ball just a little bit out in front of him and off his fingertips. Here's a snap, a good one. And that kick, I don't know if they got a hand on it or not, but not a good one. It goes out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Now he's going to I'm not sure where he's going to mark that. It looks like he's going to mark him at the 49.
And in Jupiter territory is where Lake has started.
That looked right to me. That looked like a good mark by the official. Actually, they're going to set it on the 48, which I would agree with that too. I mean, that's where it actually looked to me like it went out of bounds. So
the snap was good there, but Lakes did get some penetration.
I'm not sure that they might have got a hand on that, Bart. It looked like they had. If not, the kicker had to go off the side of his foot. Took him a long time to get the kick away. Snead has twin receivers far side. He looks that way. He fires it over the middle and throws into a crowd. Is it a catch?
That's a completion.
It is incomplete. I had to look at the far official. He said no. And that'll bring up a second down and 10.
Second down.
Second down and 10. Football still at the 48-yard line. And 2:29 after playing the first quarter. Still no score.
Moving on the field as the pass by Snead was complete for a 5-yard gain. That brings up the downs.
Changed the call of the far official. Turned it into a complete pass. So 5-yard gain. Second long 5 for Lakes.
Yeah. Here's Snead throwing over the middle. He's got a man out there, but it's intercepted by Jupiter at the 20-yard line. They had a man open, but the ball flew a little bit over, thrown and intercepted by number 3 for Jupiter, Cody Wilson. He's been all over the field tonight, so Jupiter gets the ball back.
And a big interception by number 3, Cody Wilson. Warriors first down on the 20-yard line.
Jupiter has it, 1st and 10 at the 20.
I'll just keep that screen on play.
They'll go with the single wing. Take the ball straight ahead for a couple of yards. Try to pick up here where they're going to spot that ball. Looks like 25. Actually started at the 21, so gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Single wing. Still employed by Jupiter, and some jumping and moving along the line of scrimmage, and this might go against the Rams, and if it is, that'll be an offside. It is. It's a 5-yard penalty. It'll move the ball up to the 30-yard line, where it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 1.
Offside penalty against Palm Beach Lakes.
Football at the 30, and Jupiter's been here before where they just needed a yard to pick up a 1st down, but they've had trouble against the interior defensive unit by Lakes. Here is the ball carrier, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. That might have been all. That might have been it. It is tough going in the middle of the field. So now it's 3rd down and 1. Football still at the 30. Jupiter, time and time again here in his first quarter, has tried the middle of that line of Palm Beach Lakes with no success. Now we've got movement along the line again. There's a snap, and Carter will get the carry, and it looks like he's going to have enough for the 1st down as he takes the ball up to about the 33-yard line. He needed to get to the 31, and he will keep the drive alive, as it will be a 1st and 10 after they set the chains. Jupiter ready to go. They haven't even turned the yard marker yet to the, or down marker to the 1st down after the gain of 3. Here is a handoff of a little bit of a reverse in the backfield, carried up to the 40-yard line as the ball carrier. So a gain of 7. A gain of 7 on the carry.
Number 23. Gain of 7 on the play, number 23, Luciano Wallace. That brings up a Warriors 2nd and 3.
Second down and 3, and now whistles blow with 7.8 seconds left. I don't know if we had a timeout there or what exactly happened. Well, we apologize. We lost video for a little bit, but we're back now. Hope you enjoyed the audio part, just like old-time radio. Football's at the 40-yard line. We've had an exciting first quarter, that's for sure. The old saying, Bart came to a fight and a football game broke out. No, not really, but we did have some fisticuffs. We had a couple of ejections. Hopefully all that's behind us. Jupiter will come to the sideline and they'll let the clock run out. That'll be the end of the first quarter of play here at Jupiter with the score 0-0.
That's the end of the first quarter here in Jupiter, Florida.
Well, a lot of defense in the first quarter and some
Their hometown Jupiter Warriors 0.
as well as far as some physicality and everything. We'll see how that carries on moving forward during the rest of the game. Usually, at least on this level, that'll pump these guys up, but the coaches will talk to the boys and they'll have them settled into where they don't let that happen again. I'd say, and that hopefully for everybody involved is a learning experience going forward, and hopefully it helps both of these teams.
Oh, yeah, and it's really been a well-played football game except for that, and boys will be boys, I guess, is the way to put that. Tonight's game was brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North US Highway 1 in Jupiter for computer training, lessons, and repairs. Phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network. We are scoreless as we get ready to start the second quarter here at Jupiter High School. Warriors and Rams, no score. This game was kind of picked by some prognosticators to be a tight one, and it's lived up to all the billing now.
Well, so far there's been not a lot of offense, but hopefully Jupiter can get a drive going here and maybe put some points on the board.
I believe that was Xavier Carter that carried the ball once again, number 8.
Going to be real close to the first down.
He needed 3. Question is, did he get it? Well, I tell you what, these officials, they do a great job. It's amazing how many times they'll look over there and they'll say, yeah, you would think that they would
First down.
need to measure, but they do not. And the ball now is out at the 40, I'm going to call that the 43-yard line. 1st and 10. Warriors still in the single wing. They have tried one pass out of that. Griff Garland tried it. Here's a little razzle-dazzle and almost getting free on the far side as the ball carrier, and then he goes down. That was Carter again, number 3. No, I'm sorry, Cody Wilson that time, number 3.
21 came in on the tackle there for Lakes. A real nice job of wrapping him up.
That's Stephen Lewis. He's a two-way player. He's also a good wide receiver.
Had he broke through that tackle, he could have ran for a long time because the rest of the Lakes defense was shifted over to the near side there.
We're going to give him a gain of 4, called the 47-yard line. 2nd down and 3, and a big loss on this play. They tried some misdirection in the backfield, and the Rams were having none of it as they came heavy on the blitz and dropped the ball carrier. We're going to see. It looks like they're going to mark him right on the 45-yard line. So a loss of 2 brings up a 3rd down, and what are we going to call that? About 8, it looks like.
Looked like a little confusion there in the backfield by Jupiter. Almost fumbled the ball, so kind of fortunate to hang on here and give themselves a chance to maybe do something on 3rd and long.
9th play of the drive. Garland has tried to pass. They're going to snap the ball instead to Carter. He's going to try to come to the near side. Nothing doing. He couldn't get to the outside. Didn't have the speed. 17 for Lakes. Prinville was there along with Lewis, 21, who's been all over the field. And a loss of a couple brings up a 4th down and 10. Back at the 43. And the 10th play of the drive should result in a punting situation.
Well, another punting situation for Jupiter here, but a little further in their own territory. So hopefully a good punt here. They can pin Lakes deep in their own zone and maybe play a little bit of a field position battle for a while to see who can break across for their first score.
We must have had a personal foul, a face mask called on Lakes, and that will keep the drive alive.
Big penalty, 15-yarder, puts them for the first time into Palm Beach Lakes territory.
Yeah, mark that ball at the 43-yard line of Lakes, 1st and 10. Jupiter sends number 3, Wilson, wide out on the far side.
That's such a big turnaround in the game right there because Jupiter's backed up in their zone. They're having to punt again. Lakes has a chance to start up the drive, and bam, the flag gives it back to Jupiter, 1st and 10.
Here's a snap. Garland wants to throw. He's got a single man out there. The ball's in the air a long time, and up, and no catch, but interference is called by 3 officials. When you see that many flags, that's pretty much going to be the call. So that should lead to another first down by penalty.
Well, that ball stayed up in the air a long time, and Jupiter had a chance to run underneath it. The defender's back turned to the ball. They don't know exactly where it's coming down, and he just kind of ran into him, ran up under him, didn't give him a chance to catch the football, and that'll be another first down for Jupiter.
Yeah, we're going to see where they're going to spot the football. I believe it's a 10-yard penalty in high school, or is it 15? It's not like college where it's the spot of the ball. It looks like it is what is that? One's up being about a 13-yard penalty. But anyway, he marks the ball down at the 28-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. So it was a 15-yard penalty. That's what I thought it was, 15-yard penalty in high school. Not point of the foul, so the Rams draw a bit of a break there.
They've shot themselves in the foot the last 2 plays here. They should have the ball right now. 2 big mistakes puts Jupiter deep into their territory.
Man in motion, they give to the middle man, and he's got a big hole right up the middle. That might have been Carter. He darn near broke it as he took it all the way down to about the 11-yard line. 17-yard burst.
What was the number on that
17-yard gain, number 23, Luciano Wallace.
Is Luciano Wallace. First time we're calling his name, and then a big way there, driving into the red zone down to the 12-yard line for another Jupiter first down.
That was Wallace, the carrier, 23, ball carrier. Okay, that was an excellent run. They tried a little misdirection, and it worked very well. 1st and 10 from the 11. Jupiter on the march. They will go with a straight snap and a nice little hole as they drive the ball down to the 10, but then a flag comes in, and you don't like to see those. They're normally a hold from where that came from, that line judge.
Where it came, where it was thrown, usually a bad sign for the offense.
Yes, sir. Now, we have had a big face mask call earlier in this drive, but they're talking here. I can't tell which way they're going to go with this, what the call is going to be. It looks like he's going to mark this off against the Rams, Bart.
He is.
He is.
Let's see what their motion over here.
There was a face mask, another one, and the ball's marked at the 7.
So that'll be half the distance to the goal. And now Jupiter inside the Lakes 10. Another first down, 1st and goal.
Yep, 1st and goal to 7 in the single wing. Jupiter Warriors look for the game's first score. Man in motion. They go straight to Carter, and he takes it. And he got, I believe, inside the 5, down to about the 4.
Inside the 5 to the 4-yard.
Well, that misdirection's really causing some problems down here around the goal line. That'll be 2nd and goal. I'm going to try to pick up here. They do call it the 4-yard line, so gain of 3 there. 13th play of this drive coming up for Jupiter. It's been aided by a couple of big penalties. Well, we talked about that. Penalties and turnovers are 2 things you want to avoid early in the season. Of course, you always want to avoid them, but more so now. Now, Jupiter's going to spend a timeout here, Bart. They're going to talk it over with 8:42 left on the clock here in the second period.
A lot of times early in the season, and really any time, if you got 2 teams that are pretty evenly matched, which is kind of the gist of what we've heard about most of these teams, that it was supposed to be a pretty good game. In that type of case, a lot of times the team that plays the cleanest game will be the team that comes out on top.
That's true. That's true. If you can eliminate the mistakes or at least minimize them, it can be big. But of course, all this talk, and Jupiter still has the ball setting at the 7-yard line,
4-yard line.
4-yard line, yeah, 4-yard line. So they need to power it in. And let's be truthful here. Lakes has been very tough to run against up the middle.
Well,
It's been the misdirection that's worked.
they've been reading it pretty well whenever they just go straight one side or the other. The misdirection has been the most successful so far for Jupiter, and we'll see what type of play they go with here and how Lake's defensive, and see what type of result we get here.
Okay, both teams have talked it over, make their way back onto the field. Here at Jupiter High School, a beautiful night for high school football. Opening night. Oh, well, not really. Last night there were a couple of games played, but the opening weekend for high school football in the state of Florida.
High school football and college football, really. So
Oh, yeah.
a lot of games last night, a few tonight, and a whole slate tomorrow.
Snap goes to Carter, tries the left side, and he's into the end zone, I believe it is. Touchdown, Jupiter. And the Warriors take a 6-0 lead. 80 yards they went on that particular drive. Very impressive. And they did it in 13 plays, and they lead 6-0, and that was it pretty
Touchdown, Warriors! Taken by Luciano Wallace.
No, it was Wallace, 43. I'm sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble picking up the numbers, but Wallace took it in. Now on to try the extra point is the Jupiter kicker. Good snap. Kick is up. It looks good. It is good. 7-0 to score. With 8:34 left to play in the first half. So the penalties barred in that drive were huge for Jupiter and extremely painful for Palm Beach Lakes.
Well, two really big ones. The first one especially, that drive was over. It was dead. Jupiter would have had the ball 4th and 1, back in their own territory. Lakes, the big penalty that gives Jupiter the first down and 15 more yards, put them in Lakes territory for the first time. Then right after that, boom, boom, back to back. Lakes gets the pass interference penalty, which sticks Jupiter down in striking distance. From there, they take it down to about the 12, 13 yard line. Then another penalty by Lakes, half the distance to the goal, and a few more plays. Jupiter shoves it into the end zone for their first touchdown on the season.
And we, at least I forgot to mention, that was all set up by an interception. So that turnover, anytime you get that, huge for the Warriors. They'll tee it up and kick it off here. Now, the mark of a good team is can they answer, and that's what the Rams will be looking for here. Football is teed up. 8:34 left to play. Second period. Here is the kick, and it's going to be taken in about the 32-yard line by Lakes, and they'll run it back up to about the 38-yard line, and that's where they'll have it, 1st and 10. Could have called a fair catch on that one, but did not.
That worked out for him that time. Got some yardage, takes it up to their own 38-yard line, and they'll start to drive there, 1st and 10.
Isaiah Sneed is a quarterback for Palm Beach Lakes. He's number 6. He's in the gun. He's got twin receivers to each side of the football field and a lone running back on his left shoulder. Looks over the Jupiter defense. Long snap count, hands it off to the running back, and a big hole for number 8. And that's Denzel Smith, who runs the ball for about 8 yards, didn't he? No, he just got it up here right to the 45.
They've got a 7-yard gain there. That's a big gain on 1st down, though. Brings up 2nd and 3. And they get up to the line quick, that's for sure.
I'm sure they take that all night long. Here's a snap. It's a high one. They're going to try to get the ball out on the sideline, and they do. Completed to number 5, Arkevius Brown, and he's knocked out of bounds, but not until he's into Jupiter territory. Looks like he's around the 45-yard line. Going to be just short of it. Fell to 44. So from the 45 to the 44. 46-yard line. Okay. And handoff and going nowhere, the ball carrier, and he's going to maybe gain a yard. They had a 1st and 10, so
Take about one. That's a good stop there for Jupiter after a couple big plays for Lakes, hopefully stopping the momentum for them.
all in one, 2nd down and 9. Football at the 45 of Jupiter. Lakes looking to tie. They trail 7-0. Here's a snap. Sneed drops back. A lot of time. Fires it over the middle as a receiver. Going up to make the catch. Number 15, and that is Ardesile. And he pulls it in. Nice catch. He went up in some heavy traffic. Looks like they're going to mark that ball the 41, so a gain of 4. We'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Reception made
Let's
by
see if Jupiter can get a big stop here after the score. Never want to give it right back.
Twin receivers on the near side. Single man on the far. Man in motion. Sneed hands it off. Running back's got a big hole. He's got a 1st down as he drives down to about the 30-yard line. That's Denzel Smith again. Denzel's one of those guys, if you let him get ahead of steam, he's going to run over some people. And he did. That was an 11-yard pickup, and it is 1st down and 10 at the Jupiter 30 as the Rams are on the march quickly.
Once he got that 1st down, he was head down, got an extra 5 or 6 yards, barreled over one of the Jupiter defenders, and pushed his way all the way down to the 30.
Jupiter's going to spend a timeout here with 6:34 left to play. In the 1st half, Jupiter leading at 7-0. Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions, 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach, and set your course for financial security. Phone 561-596-2743. It's been a good football game so far. One little incident that led to the ejection guard of a couple of players, but otherwise it's lived up to its billing. Tight.
Well, definitely. It's been a close game so far, and Lakes on the drive right now going to try to put their first points on the board, and I'm sure they're hoping to even this game up, getting to about the halfway mark here in the 2nd quarter.
Sneed will go from the shotgun, as he has the entire football game. I don't think he's been under center one time. He's got 2 men in the backfield, one lined up like a fullback right behind him and another on his right shoulder. Twin receivers near side, single man far side. Here's the snap. Sneed will fake it, drops back. He's got a man wide open. And dropped wide open. That was a touchdown for sure, and Chauncey White was probably too open, Bart. You see that sometimes.
Oh, yeah, definitely dropped 6 points there. There wasn't a defender anywhere close to him. And that's a tough play for Lakes right there. That's 6 points off the board for them, and now we'll see what they do on 2nd down at 10.
Well, that play action, and that the reason that worked, and that guy was White was able to get so open, is they have really been effective at running that football. Denzel Smith has been very impressive. The game's only football belongs to Luciano Wallace.
They haven't asked him to do much, but what they've asked him to do, he's done well.
On a 4-yard touchdown run. Here's a running play and a big hole for Lakes as they take it down to the 10. That's going to be a 20-yard pickup, and I'll tell you what.
I think they took it down at about the 20-yard line. It ended up being a 10-yard gain.
Okay. 2nd down and our 1st down and 10.
Red zone nonetheless.
Sneed. Will hand the ball off and carry to about the 15, the ball carrier. Back play of the drive coming up. Well, we talked about how important it is to answer. That was a gain of 5, and it's 2nd and 5 for the 15. So Lakes knocking on the door, trailing here 7-0. Sneed again. He's got twin receivers on the near side, a single man on the far, and split running backs in the backfield.
Opportunity here to see how Jupiter's red zone defense reacts.
And man in motion to the right. The snap is a good one. Sneed's going to throw the man in motion incomplete. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the 15. The 10th play of this drive coming up.
Well, that's a recipe for a low-scoring ball game. Good defense, long drives, and a lot of time off the clock.
And we've got a timeout on the field. as both teams, that might be one of those water break timeouts if they get some extra ones of when the weather's so warm. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Computer training, lessons, and repairs. Phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network. Lakes looking to try to tie this, and of course this is 4-down territory. So even if they don't get this at the 15, they're gonna try. They have 2 plays to pick up this 5 yards and try to tie the score. Jupiter leading 7-0. 5:33 left to play in the half. Isaiah Sneed is the quarterback. He's got 2 running backs, one right behind him and one on his right shoulder. Twin receivers on the near side. Sneed from the gun. Jupiter shows blitz. They hand the ball off, a big hole. And carrying the ball down to the 5 is number 12, J.D. Coleman. First and goal for
And a big gain on J.D. Coleman.
Big first down there, puts them first and goal from the 5, and they'll have 4 chances here if they choose to take them to try to get into the end zone.
Well, they've really been running at will here on this drive. Here's a snap. Give the ball off to Coleman again. He's hit and stood up right at the line of scrimmage, and finally the whistles blow, and he'll go down. He tried a little cutback that time to the interior of that line, but Jupiter was up to the task, and they stop him for no gain. It'll bring up a 2nd down and goal at the 5. Sneed this time has trips on the near side, tries to spread the field. He has it. He fakes it to Coleman. He gives it to Coleman. He tries to get to the edge. He does. He outruns the defense, and he goes in for the score, I think. Yes, touchdown. Well, that was a nice run. 5-yard touchdown run there by Coleman. And that comes with 4:39 left to play in the second quarter.
He ran a long way to the outside to get those 5 yards, but it was successful for Lakes, and now they have a chance to even up the score.
And it looks like they are going to go for 2. They're lined up. Sneed in the gun, looks over at the sideline. He's got trips on the far side. I'll tell you what, not a bad idea just to hand the ball off to number 12 here, is it? Coleman has been really impressive in this drive. A 2-point conversion would put Lakes in the lead. They are going for 2. And the whistle now just blows, so for some reason the play was held up. Coleman awaits the snap. Sneed, he's got it. He wants to pass. He throws the fade, and incomplete, but pass interference, and they'll do it again. And I believe that'll be, that'll be a penalty, and they'll get that again. Now the question will be, will they want to run? They tried the fade route, and the receiver was interfered with. The Jupiter defender had hands all over him before the ball ever got to him.
Well,
That's a pretty easy call.
They had 3 wide here to the near side. Here's the only wide out on the far side of the field. They chose to go that direction where there wasn't much traffic. And Jupiter had to bump him just to keep him from completing that pass.
Sneed gets it, and Coleman is dropped as they got penetration on the right side. The first man didn't get him, but he slowed him up, and it will stay at a 7-6 ball game at this point. And now the Jupiter Warriors will get the football again. That was a pretty good defensive stand, so the penalty there really didn't hurt them. And now they will get the football back with 4:39 left to go. That's one thing, too, Bart, about a single-wing offense. It's kind of hard to implement, really, a 2-minute offense. Not that we're at 2 minutes yet, but certainly for Jupiter here, this will be a hurry-up type of setup for them if they look for more points here.
Yeah, Jupiter will have to move the ball down the field fairly quickly with 4:39 here left to play in the half. And, of course, at the halftime, you give up possession.
You score once and a half.
And the opposing team gets to kick the ball off to start the second half. So they'll want to try to push it and see if they can get another score of some sort going into the half.
Jupiter with a couple of men deep, very difficult to pick up their numbers from here. Lakes will tee it up. The black will work, but you need a either a white numeral or a yellow numeral, and black outlined in the yellow just doesn't work for these old eyes.
I think it's kind of a different color. It's kind of a dark green, and then they've got the yellow outlines with green back in the middle of the numbers, to where there isn't much contrast, and it makes it difficult to read those uniforms.
Yeah, and we apologize because it is very difficult to pick it up. Here's the kick, going to come right down the middle of the field, and taken, and the knee was down by the ball carrier or the receiver there, return man. Trying to pick that number up, very tough. Is that
36, maybe?
Is it 36?
No, there is no 36.
Well, it can't be. It's something 6.
25? 35. 35.
35, all right. And that is
Kelson
Charles. And his knee went down, and they're going to mark him right at the, 19?
The kick is down on the 19-yard line.
They're going to call it the 19. We will, too. 1st and 10.
It's a long way to drive here with 4:38.
Well, you want to use some clock here. You want some first downs. You don't want to hand the ball back over to the Rams the way that offense looked in the last series.
Well, Lakes has driven the ball well twice. The first time they didn't get any points out of it. Last time they got the touchdown.
Ball carrier that time, I believe that was Wallace again, and he picked up a couple. As they're going to mark him for a loss of 1. I'm sorry, a loss of 1 on the carry. So back to the 18, and now 2nd down and 11. So Jupiter really backed up here. They haven't thrown a lot tonight. I think they've attempted 2 passes. One was incomplete on a 3rd and short, or 4th and short, trying to pick up the first down. No, it was 3rd and short. Didn't get it, and then they had pass interference on another one. Garland threw both the passes, and they snap it to the back, tries to get outside, nothing doing. He's going to lose more yardage. Look like they're going to take him down back at around the 12. He'll lose about 6 more on that play. See exactly where they are going to mark the ball. 13, we'll call a loss of 5. It's on the 13. So it's 3rd and 16.
There's 35, Kelson Charles there again. He recognized early in that play that the middle was clogged up, thought he had an opening to the outside, but Lakes was quick enough to get outside, wrap him up, and take him down for a pretty big loss.
Yeah, they don't let you get outside. They definitely can close down the corners, and that's what they did there. So here's the 3rd and 16. What do you have in your playbook for here for first down? Single wing, and Garland's going to try to pass. Looks over the middle of the field, fires it out there. Trip going to the ball, and they're going to rule that it was not catchable, I guess, as he was taken down, tripped up on it. Would have been interesting to see had he been able to come up with it, but I think the officials ruling that even had he not tripped, it was too far out in front of him. That may have been the case.
Well, it was kind of an incidental contact play there where their feet got clogged up, and lucky break for the Rams right there, because had their feet not been clogged up, it looked like he not only had the ability to complete that pass, but maybe run for some pretty good yardage.
Jupiter punting from their own goal line. The Rams should get great field position. With 2:55 to go in the half, the snap is high, the kick is away. A pretty good kick under the circumstances. Drives the ball carrier back, and then he dances away from it, and then it's down all the way back at the 35-yard line. But why was that grab? That would have gone another 5 yards, I believe, had they left it alone. The only thing I could think of is if he thought it was touched, that we've got a flag all the way back at the 15-yard line. So this may all be for naught.
Number 2, Jonathan Harris.
Jupiter, looks like was the indication. But yeah, he either had to think that ball was touched, or he had a little bit of a lapse there, thinking that maybe it was a kickoff instead of a punt, and trying to field that ball and take it back the other direction. Because his first reaction after picking it up was to try to just keep running with that ball into the end zone, but not the case here. Now we'll see what the penalty is.
Well, they're talking to Griff Garland for Jupiter, and Kent, is that 21 that's there for Palm Beach Lakes? I'm trying to sort this out. That would be Stephen Lewis if it is. Trying to determine what exactly. They did. And a face mask is the call. Boy, we've had a bunch of those tonight.
Against Rams.
And it looks like they're going to let the kick stand, and the ball's going to be marked at the 25-yard line. I think it would have gone marked to the 20 or around the 20 had it not been grabbed by the Jupiter player. It was headed for the sideline. Kind of hard to tell how far it would have gone, but it would have gone inside the 25. That is for sure.
Yeah, and that was a booming kick with a good bounce in the first place, and that definitely would have had another 5+ yards added on to the end of
So it's a
it.
15-yard penalty against Lake's face mask.
Exactly.
Lakes here with 2:42 to go will have to be in a little bit of a hurry-up offense with having 75 yards to drive. Well, they're going to have more than that after they mark off the
They're
pace.
marking the penalty off after the kick, and they just should put it back at what, the 5-yard line?
They tacked on 15.
Or is it the
So
10?
effective the
They're
65
going to the 10
To the 10.
So 15-yard penalty
Wow, that
Wow.
takes them back to the 10, and
That is a major change.
that is a huge change in field position.
no question
Now
about
you
it.
got the chance with a couple timeouts. If you could get a couple stops for loss and play some real good defense here and not let them advance the football, you could get the ball back with enough time to maybe make something happen here at the end of the half.
Isaiah Sneed in the gun. He's got trips receivers on the far side, and now they're going to change where they put the ball down as they bring it now up to the, what is that, 17? Why, I don't know, but that's where they're going to put it. Had been marked at the 10, now the 17. So that's where Palm Beach Lakes will start first and 10. 7-6 your score in this football game. Jupiter clinging to a 1-point lead. Palm Beach Lakes will have the football, though, and a chance to take the lead, and their offense really looked impressive on that last drive as they had no problem both running and passing their way down the field.
Now they're moving.
Now they're going to move the ball again. That officials are okay, and now it's going to go down at the 13.
Well, we talk about it being early in the season for the players. It's
Good
early
point.
in the season for everybody, so
Good point.
they'll get it figured out and have everything done the right way.
And off to Coleman, and he is going to be hit after he moved that ball out across the 15 up to about the 17.
That was a good little second effort there by Coleman. He was hit after about a 3-yard gain, but pushed it up for another couple after the initial contact.
I like him. He's a good-looking ball player. Second down, and call it 5. Sneed has it, gives it to Coleman. Big hole up the middle as he caught Jupiter overshifted to the right, and he runs it out to the 30. That's a 13-yard pickup.
First down.
So that'll be a first down, stop the clock, give Lakes a chance to set up without losing a bunch of time. Clock started back up again. Lakes not quite ready to snap the ball here, wasting some precious seconds.
Sneed looks left, wants to throw, fires it over the middle. It's caught there, and pretty good coverage by Jupiter as they stop the wide receiver after a short gain. Was that number 10 that made that catch? I believe that's Chauncey White. Who made the stop part?
Let's see the stop there, but
I thought you were giving me a number.
that was a gain of 4 there on the play to the 34.
Second and 6. And we've got a timeout taken with 1:47 to go. It's interesting. Jupiter has done a pretty good job defending the pass tonight, but they have had a hard time corralling Coleman. There's been a couple of times, and unlike Jupiter's running backs, Mark, when he gets the ball, it seems like he's got the quickness and the time to adjust. If he looks to the middle and it's closed, he can bounce it outside. When Jupiter's tried that, Lakes has been all over him and swarmed him.
Lakes' defense seems to have some pretty good speed, And they've been able to close those gaps real quick, and the defensive line for them's done a pretty good job clogging up the holes as well. And it has made the opportunities for Jupiter pretty sparse. And then Lakes has had their 2 good drives. Jupiter playing some pretty good defense. But here they just want to try to at least run this clock out without Lakes getting into scoring position.
Steve gives it to Coleman. He tippy-toes straight ahead and stop for a short gain. Clock going to be down to a minute 40, inside a minute 40, as it continues to run, trying to pick up where they're going to mark this football. They're going to put it down to 37, so a gain of 3, 3rd and 3. And Steve wants to pass, fires it over the middle and off the hands of the intended wide receiver. They've tried that play. They like that little curl in to Chauncey White, but that time the junior had it skip off of his hands, incomplete, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 3 with the clock stopped at a minute 24 to go.
So Lakes back in their own territory here. Will have to punt the ball away, give Jupiter one more opportunity. I'd say depending on the punt here, a good punt and Jupiter will probably just take a knee and head into the halftime up 1. But
Stephen Lewis, though, a good athlete, is the punter. Don't go to sleep on him. Make sure he punts it away. Don't let him get loose. They may try to draw Jupiter off sides here, too, because it's a 4th down and 3. Here's the snap. It's a good one. Punter gets it away. Jupiter should just get away from that football. It takes a terrible bounce for Lakes and then is down by number 17, Dave Prinville, who's made a couple of heads-up plays tonight. And he knocked that ball down in Jupiter territory. It looks like around the 47-yard line.
Very nice bounce for Jupiter. Very unlucky for Lakes. And that gives Jupiter an opportunity here with 1:15 to play to maybe try to make something happen here on the first couple of plays.
Well, out of the single wing, Griff Garland came over and got some instruction from the sideline from head coach Doug Usolini and his staff. Let's see if he tries to throw the ball here. Nope, they're going to snap the ball off, and they try to get to the corner. And the running back's at the 50, at the 45, at the 40, still on his feet, tries to stay in bounds. He should have gone out of bounds, but it will be a 1st down, and it'll stop the clock anyway. And who was the ball carrier there? A nice little run by,
It's not worth my
was that number 3?
It's not a job. Come on. It's not a job. Notwithstanding.
That would be Cody Wilson if it was. Who? 40? Okay. Kyle Radis. All right. But it's a 1st down. Football inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. And hand the ball off. Did we see any flags? Clock's at 52. And football marked at the 31. So a gain of 3. Bring up a 2nd down and 7.
Jupiter players checking the play here. Need to get going. Under 40 seconds now to play.
Losing a lot of time as a 29-yard run by Jupiter to get the ball into Lakes territory. Here is Garland back to pass, rolls to his right. He's going to run out of time and get hit and go down. He had to get rid of that ball.
He was out of the pocket, had every opportunity to just throw that ball away and stop the clock, but it looks like he...
Well, they might have taken a timeout. Yeah, they did. They actually marked him back at the 34-yard line, so that's a loss of 3, and he was lucky it wasn't more than that, but you have to try to tell yourself there to toss that ball and throw it away. Wasn't able to do so on that particular play. Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach. And set your course for financial security from 561-596-2743.
I believe that was Jupiter's last time out of the half. So now they'll have to be very efficient with these last 20.3 seconds if they want to try to add to this score.
Mike Leonardo is talks very highly of its maintenance crew here at Jupiter High School all the time. What a job they did of getting this field prepared tonight. It is a pleasure to have the yard markers all out there. It makes it a lot easier for the broadcasters.
Yeah, definitely. One of the toughest things is to spot the football where it is. At least now we can focus on those tough to see Jupiter numbers.
Ball carrier gets slammed down and loses yardage all the way back to midfield, and that should end the first half as they tried a little misdirection. Palm Beach Lakes was not fooled on it. Now the clock stopped with 6.4 seconds, and that might be a timeout taken by Lakes, and it is. After a loss, we're going to have a fourth, and it looks like, what is that? I'm trying to figure out where the ball is marked. It's at the 47.
Great idea.
So he lost 13 on that play. And it's going to bring up a fourth down. And looks like about 23.
$20 a pop. I do it. That sounds good. $20.
We'll call it fourth and long because that it definitely is about fourth and 23 here. Two teams are going to talk it over for just a moment. Looks like that water break again. Tonight's game was brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shop in Jupiter 201 North. U.S. Highway 1 and Jupiter. Elite training, lessons, and repair. 1561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network.
Also, check out the trading post to get more of your shirts and other gear. Proceeds go to
7-6 is our score in the football game. And all of a sudden now we've got 10 minutes on the clock, so they're going to have to take it down. Now 1 minute, and they're going to have to count it down. I believe there was 6.4 when that timeout was called is what I thought I saw. We'll see what the officials take it on.
It looked like they were motioning to try to get 9, maybe 10 seconds put back on the clock.
Well, they may have asked for that timeout before they actually received it, so we'll see what the time is that they're going to put on. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're Palm Beach Lakes right here, you pin your ears back and see if you can block this punt. Nothing to lose. Jupiter kicker's going to be standing back at his own 40-yard line. They're still counting the clock down.
This is a dangerous spot here for Jupiter.
10.6 is where they have it, and that now they're going to count it down to 8.8. I like it there. Okay, 8.8. That's what's left. Jupiter to kick. 2 return men back deep for Lakes. Snap is a little bit low, but handles it. No pressure. Gets a good high driving kick away, and it's going to be fielded back there by number 21, and that's Stephen Lewis. And then a flag is thrown as the time expires. 47-yard punt. Boy, that's just what you like right there. And the only question is that the end of the first half of play? It looks like it's going to be, as the Rams, well, now they're going to come out onto the field. I'm not sure. It almost looks like they're wanting to go to the far end to huddle up here at halftime, but now the officials are going to try to sort it out. As Bart said earlier, it's also the first game of the year for the officiating crew, doing their best to.
I think they're discussing right now if the ball went into the end zone with time remaining still to see if they want to set up for one last play here in the half.
Okay.
There was a flag thrown, no indication as to what that is at this time.
I really didn't notice. It did not look like he called for a fair catch. Sometimes if you signal for a fair catch and then try to advance the ball, they'll throw a flag, but I didn't see that in that case.
No, he didn't signal for the fair catch, but you got the automatic touchback.
So what you're saying is the flag might actually be serving as a marker right here, and a lot of times you'll see that. Most of them carry the beanbag. Yeah, they're going to wave the flag off. So I think you're right. It went into the end zone. The question is, has time expired? And it has. So we are at half.
Here at Warrior Stadium.
Warrior Stadium.
Your Jupiter Warriors 7.
Florida.
Palm Beach Lakes 6.
Is Jupiter 7. and Palm Beach Lakes 6. I'll recap the scoring. Jupiter got on the board first after both teams had had the ball a couple of times early. It was an interception by Jupiter that set up what would be their longest and best drive of the night. They intercepted the ball from the 20-yard line, and then marched
The man is under
the 80 yards for a touchdown at around the 8:24 mark of the second quarter, and the point after touchdown kick was good, and actually that was at 8:30 of the second quarter, and the score at that point stood 7-0 after they had gone 80 yards and 13 plays. A very impressive drive that was really helped out by a couple of costly penalties against Palm Beach Lakes. And then the Lakes came right back. We talked about how a good team tries to answer, and that's exactly what Palm Beach Lakes did. Right after they had held the line 7-0, they took over at their own 38-yard line, and then they took the ball 62 yards in 12 plays, and they scored on a 5-yard touchdown run by Coleman. Incidentally, the touchdown for the Jupiter Warriors was scored by Luciano Wallace, number 23, who took it in for the score. And this ball game, just as everybody had talked about being close, but the prognosticators has been close, as it is right now 7-6.
I'm not hitting them referee, I'm saying they want to look at it.
We'll make sure you get your number.
Yeah,
Sure.
appreciate it.
So you look, this is the website right here, if they go on the,
Oh, it's on the back.
I'm about to put it in.
No, that's fine.
Oh, just put it on that, okay, I'm gonna tell them, can't sign up, he made someone look at it.
We're at halftime.
Everybody made that. You're not gonna
With
change
Jupiter
the
on top in what's been a very
report of 24 hours.
good
Thank you.
and well-played football game here,
Correct.
Thank you.
where these teams have really battled it out, and it's been exciting.
Drum major down here in front of me with the hat?
And we're at halftime with the score 7-6. Mark, a pretty good first half for both teams. One thing, it's really different. My football background from the state of Indiana, Jasper High School, throw that football and power I formation, and seeing the quarterback an integral part in it. I can't remember the last time I called a game where the ball was snapped straight to the running back as many times as it was by the Jupiter offense, but that's what you get with the single wing.
Well, I've been down here in Florida now for quite some time, and it is definitely a different ball game down here. I remember growing up there, of course, and taping games for the local TV station up there, and there definitely was a different type of offense ran in that area as opposed to here. It's more of a power football game and speed game with the ball being carried much more than you see it put up in the air.
Well, that's true. You've seen a lot of running, and even Lakes, even though Snead has got a pretty good arm on him, it seems like they tried the fade on the 2-point conversion, and of course we had interference called on that. But other than that, his favorite route has been on the curl in on the left-hand side, and it really seems like they're using that spread offense with the trip receivers, and they really run most of their plays away from that. Whenever they throw the ball, they throw back into single coverage, and they like that little curl play of about 10 yards, and that's worked for them most of the night. And then other than that, hand the ball to Coleman, and with that field spread out, let him use his cutback ability, and that's worked pretty well for them, and that's pretty much been their offense tonight.
Yeah, overall, they've had a little bit more offensive success so far compared to that of Jupiter. They had that drive, their second drive of the game, where it looked like they might be able to put up some points. And
Drum major, Trent
the
Brown.
exact sequence,
Ron
but
Russell.
maybe a penalty there. Well, they had the interception there too on the third drive. So they've moved the ball a few times. Just have only been able to capitalize the one time, and then Jupiter actually kind of gets the penalty on the 2-point conversion attempt that paid off for them, because had they not interfered on that, it sure looked as though the Lakes receiver had a beat on it, and he would have been able to pull that in for the 2. But after the penalty, Jupiter broke through the line, knocked him down for a loss, and kept this game at 7-6, giving them that 1-point advantage here at halftime.
That's where we're at halftime, 7. Jupiter on top, and it was a failed 2-point conversion run that really has kept Jupiter in the lead after the 2-point pass interference was called in the end zone. Palm Beach Lakes came back and they tried to run the ball in, but Jupiter did a great job of getting penetration on the right side of their defensive line, left side offensive for Palm Beach Lakes, and they stopped the play. And that's where we're at halftime, 7-6. Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Ford, Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach. Set your course for financial security. Phone 561-596-2743. Tonight's game is brought to you also in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter, 201 North, U.S. Highway 1 in Jupiter. Trading, lessons, and repairs, 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network. And now we're going to just be quiet for a little bit and let you enjoy the Jupiter High School Band.
I'm wondering if I might have hit that when I was zooming out. Maybe that's what turned it off.
Why did we go black?
I think I might have hit this and it went on, and then when I switched it on, we had to go back in and out real quick. I think that's what happened.
Okay. Who texted us? It sounds good. Who was that?
Susan Amber.
Okay, good. You know what we're doing. Okay. What's that? Our cameras are really good. We gotta figure out okay. Do that.
I wasn't the first half.
Our problem is that our audio is picking up everything, but we're not really able to go through our.
Keep the chatter down.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean,
It's going through our computer instead of an audio board.
Just gotta figure that out.
otherwise, it's still pretty good.
Well, I'll keep the chatter down on my end. All the unnecessary chatter. My big mouth has like glare or something like that.
I'm gonna get these back to you. My struggle is not seeing it. It's just the color combination.
I warned you. I I wanted to. It's crazy.
Yeah, they need to go yellow and black numbers, that would, or whatever they were, dark green.
Or at least fill in the numbers with a different color than black on black.
Oh, yeah.
Just fill in green, nice bright green numbers. Oh, yeah, that was awesome. You gotta be able to see that. You can see that. Oh, yeah, I see
Well, I figured that I had no chance. I had any fellow who would get busy and got the decent tail. Almost half time, got to go right. I'm thirsty. I saw video of it online. And I didn't even know. I saw the video I have a site that I want to all on there, like videos, and somebody had taken it and uploaded it, and it only said football official dies on field. I did not realize that it was right here. And then later when I read the game, they put him back, just before we put him back, but it didn't really matter if he was I don't know why it was on site, but 15 minutes is my fault. That was actually the ball for a long time. I think they didn't come out, they didn't one day on the side. He was dead right on the field. He never got to the hospital. The guys were over, got to the line, and closed right. We had my dice. The guy rolled, the guy closed. But he was dead. He was dead. They told him out, they knew he was dead. They said if they knew, they didn't want to side. He was shot. He was like, dead. He was like, oh, never happened. No, he was dead, but right away, you know, nowadays, you're like, Jerry died. Jerry died. I did a game from last year, the last game of the year. Great guy, 73 years old. You can tell they that's the sunset. Oh yeah. Right. I mean, last game I worked with very hard. I didn't really work that much with him. So it's so easy to know how to take it. So it's where you want to go. It's quick. That's it. It's quick. I didn't really for almost half time. I don't think it's worth it. He was like at the end of it, the door you take.
Let's hear it one more time for the Spirit of Jupiter.
Yes.
Yeah, now I'm trying to talk. Yeah, now we got to talk about something. Nice. He's going to try to tell, but I'm just looking for a nice guy. He comes from Holland.
What did he do?
Weekend.
I know we're picking
Nice guy. He comes from a
but
company.
it's still, it's better than
Oh, he's up here. Yeah.
Hey, juniors and parents of juniors. Have you paid your dues yet? How about last year's? Or your freshman year? This year's class dues are $50. And you pay to Mrs. Murphy, your class officer, in Portion 14, or at any one of your class officers. Cindy Scalabro, Casey McBone, Alexa Rocker, Alex Laudra, Allie Weeks, or Courtney Irvin. If you aren't sure if you paid your sophomore or freshman dues, ask Mrs. Hurd, and she'll be happy to find out for you. Thank you.
That's about this big and scary. We're gonna close down the visitor side, we're gonna take it.
And don't forget our great sponsors for our Jupiter High School band. Angelo's Pizza, Jupiter Farms Pumpkins, Jupiter's West Plaza, Carrere General Contractors Agency, Five Guys Burgers and Fries, Express Urgent Care, John Smith Sauce, Brandon BMW, Jupiter Performing Arts Fund, and Tracy Boucher Glitter. And Jupiter fans, don't forget, you can watch every Jupiter football game home and away live on Ustream. Brought to you by the Big W Sports Network. In your web browser, go to ustream.com and search the Big W Sports Network or webpage ustream.tv/channel/v-big-w-sports-network.
Bang up job, man.
Excellent.
The Jupiter High School Band is selling coupon books in front of the concession. While you're there, check out the new menu at the concession stand. Now featuring fried Oreos, funnel cakes, French fries, and chicken tenders. Also, don't forget the trading post to get Warrior shirts and other gear. Proceeds go to Jupiter High School Sports. And also, don't forget the Jupiter Agricultural Plant Sale. September 28th, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's the Jupiter Agriculture Plant Sale.
We sold the last ticket.
Oh, no, that was just a PA gig. I actually attended Atlantic for my junior.
So you worked at Lakers. I used to do basketball games there. Pass it on.
The Zoom's good.
Announce it. I haven't been there. I haven't been there in a few years.
See that? Okay.
That's what I kept looking for. It never showed up. You just had to hit this one. And then come in.
What's that?
Oh, yeah. You can see nothing. I know last one. Such a game day. What are they doing?
Dealing with everything.
17 hours. 16, 17 hours.
Back at Jupiter High School, the first half has just about come to a close as both teams are out. Ready to start our second half. 7-6 is the score in the football game. both scores coming from both teams in the second quarter. Jupiter drew first blood. They scored at 8:30 in the second quarter, went 80 yards in 13 plays, aided by a couple of huge penalty calls against Palm Beach Lakes. And they got the 4-yard touchdown run by Wallace, and that made it 6-0. The extra point kick was added, 7-0 to score at that point, but then Lakes took over their own 38-yard line, and they went 62 yards in 12 plays, and Coleman ran in a 5-yard touchdown for them. They attempted twice to go for a 2-point conversion. It did not work for them, and that's where we're at right now, 7-6, as we get ready to start the third quarter of play here on the Big W Sports Network.
Well,
Glad you could join us.
It'll be interesting to see where we head from here. A very even first half on the scoreboard, if nothing else. And Jupiter comes out with the advantage here at home by 1, and they will start out taking the football to start the second half. We'll see what kind of drive they can put together, see if they made any adjustments, and what kind of offensive sets and what kind of offensive plays they run.
Football's teed up at the 40-yard line. As we await the kickoff, it looks like it's they actually got a lineman going to kick that ball off. That's 55, Wesley Brooks. Taken, dropped, fumbled, dropped again, picked up, and that's going to cost Jupiter big time. No chance for a return. Stopped at about the 22-yard line. It looked like the first drop actually kind of opened things up for him a little bit, but then after that, it closed in a hurry, and once again, the Warriors will start with not real good field position here. Football resting at their 22-yard line, 1st and 10. Single wing, and they operated this way most of the first half. The only time they did throw out of this was Griff Garland. Tried a couple of passes, but for the most part, the ball is snapped and either handed off to a running back or goes straight to a running back, and that's what's going to happen here. Trying the right side, looked like. I thought for a minute that was
16, Ryan Fernandez possible?
12. Might have been Fernandez. It's very hard to pick the numbers up. But looks like a gain of about 2 up to the 24. Call it 2nd down now and 8.
Gain of 2 on the run, 2nd and 8 Jupiter.
Jupiter has twin receivers far side. They're going to try to run the ball, get out the outside. They've turned the corner. Still on his feet, the running back, and then slammed down as he brings it up across the 35 up to about the maybe the 36-yard line. That might have been Wallace that carried the ball that time.
One of the nicest gains we've seen on the ground from Jupiter so far. They got to the outside on the far side of the field, took the ball, carried it to the right, got outside for a nice gain, and that's a good first down here to start the drive in the second half.
Pick up a 12, puts the ball at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10. Jupiter will send twin receivers to the near side of the football field this time, try to spread the field a little bit to create running room in that single wing. And all kinds of movement by both sides. I don't think the offense got set, Bart. It looked to me like one of the linemen was either bobbing up or down, and that will be the call, and it'll be illegal procedure, and it'll back the Warriors up 5 yards back to the 31, where it'll be now first down and 15 after that penalty. Not the way you like to keep the drive going.
Well, you get the big gain, and then right after the nice gain for the first down, back them up 5 yards, and makes it much more difficult. We've seen the Lakes defense perform so far tonight, and 1st and 15 is more insurmountable than that 1st and 10.
And it's snapped to the running back, tries up the middle, but nothing there. It's Lakes was there to stop it. Looked like he might have slammed forward for 1, given to the 32, and call it 2nd down and 14 from there. 4th play of the drive coming up, just underway in the 3rd period.
Gain of 2 by Wallace.
Jupiter 7, Palm Beach Lake 6.
2nd and 13.
Garland is the man, although he's not really a quarterback position, but he's the man that barks the signals. And again, it's going straight to the running back, runs into his own man, and fumbles the football. Lakes has it. They recover it at the 41-yard line, and it bounced up. Was that 21 that came up with that football? It was. He's been all over the field. Stephen Lewis. I'll tell you what, he's a fine football player. He and Coleman, I like both those guys, Bart. They both play very hard and heads-up ball. And that was a shame after a pretty good run there by Jupiter, but Palm Beach Lakes
Yeah, it looked
on the
like,
turnover.
Jupiter was going to have a nice game there on second down, and he had some free space there to his left-hand side. It looked like he was going to try to break to the left, but ran into the defender. The ball popped out. Lakes was there, capitalized on it, and they have the ball 1st and 10 in Jupiter territory.
At the 42, 1st and 10, wants to throw, flares it out here, the bubble screen, and way too much given up to number 5 there, Markevius Brown, as nobody really came up to get him out of bounds. He should have probably been stopped back behind the line of scrimmage, but nobody came up quick enough to get him, and instead he takes it to the 38. That's a gain of 4. Call it 2nd down and 6.
That bubble screen, a play we know very well.
Yep.
Back from the Drew Brees days.
I was going to say, a guy playing at New Orleans kind of made that famous at West Lafayette, didn't he? He loved that play.
Certainly did.
Here's a full house backfield now. And Snead from the gun puts a man in motion. Going to hand the ball off to number 8, who's run the ball good tonight, Denzel Smith. He's going to have plus yardage as he takes it straight ahead. And it looks like Lakes is feeling like they can run this football on Jupiter right now. They're going to have a 3rd and 2 after a gain of 4, and mark the ball at the 34-yard line.
Last couple plays, power football, running the ball right back up the middle. Been getting enough to be dangerous, setting up that 3rd and short.
Snead from the gun.
I have down cheerleaders' names, but they had to write it down.
He has the snap. He hands the ball to Coleman. He's hitting the backfield, but they can't tackle him, and he gets to the sideline, and he should have the 1st down. He should have been dropped for a loss on the play, but he is a load to bring down, and he tightrope that sideline and picks up a Palm Beach Lakes 1st down.
Looks like Jupiter had a couple chances to stop him before he got to the 1st down marker. Once well behind the line of scrimmage, and then another time maybe just past, but would have set up a very, very close measurement. But he pushed past both those tacklers, got himself a nice gain, and it's 1st and 10 Lakes.
Game 5, it's 1st and 10 at the 29. Snead in the shotgun. They've got a blitz coming, and it's picked up. He gets ready to throw. He gets flushed. He's still on his feet. And now he throws the ball to a wide open wide receiver. Touchdown! Palm Beach Lakes, and a great job by Snead out there to avoid being tackled. There were 2 guys that had a chance to get him, but he scrambled and came back to his right and threw the touchdown pass. And I'm not sure who caught that. Did you pick up the
Lewis for the touchdown.
Lewis. Looked initially like Jupiter was going to drop them for a loss, but nice blitz picked up by the back before he could get to the quarterback, and he scrambled well, had some pursuers, but his speed seemed to be a little bit better than those who were pursuing. Got himself over to the near side, threw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
Snead wants to pass for the 2-point conversion, tries the fade pattern again, and this time misfires. So the score will stand at 12-7. Palm Beach Lakes with the lead, 7:46 to play in the 3rd period. And the turnovers have led to both, the 2 of the touchdowns here tonight, Bart. No question about it. If you can't hang on to the football, it's going to be pretty tough.
Well, turnovers, penalties, like we said early on in the game, whenever you have 2 teams that are pretty evenly matched, the team that plays that cleanest game seems to have the advantage more often than not. And both teams have had their fair share of issues here, but so far, Lakes has been able, now at this point, just after that last play, to take a lead and now have a 5-point lead here going back the other way with 7:46 to play in the 3rd quarter.
What we talked about earlier, the mark of a good team is can they answer? Palm Beach Lakes did it earlier. They answered the touchdown scored by Jupiter. And the question now, can the Warriors return the favor with 7:46 left to play, third period? My only question would probably be is there's a single wing offense set up to play catch-up football. I think it's more designed to keep the lead and be ahead, but we will see.
Well, there may be some interesting plays in that offense. We've seen them throw out of it a couple times, and maybe if that becomes necessity as the game goes on, we'll see them put the ball in the air a little bit more without changing formation.
Here's the kick. It's high. It's taken in the middle of the field by the middle back, and then he tried to reverse his field and get slammed down, but a pretty good return out to about the 34-yard line. So decent field position for this start by Jupiter. Question is, can they move the ball? One thing is evident, their adjustment at halftime has been to go to twin wide receivers spread out on one side of the field, usually the far side, the long side, so that they can spread that field and create some running lanes for their running backs. We'll see if they're going to stay with that. It looks like they will. Here comes Griff Garland, who plays both ways. Linebacker, and then also I call him the quarterback of the team. Whenever there's a pass, he seems to throw it, and he also wears the plays on his wrist, on his wristband, and he barks the signals. And he gets the snap, and he hands it off, and the back tries to come to the left side, weaves in, weaves out, tries to turn the corner, slips and falls down up at about the 40, a gain of about 5.
Yeah, not a bad gain there on first down. Makes it second down and 5 here.
Second and 5.
Doing something on that play that they haven't been able to do a whole lot of, getting outside the defense enough to get some positive yardage and set themselves up for some shorter down yardage once they get past that first down.
Wilson, I think, was the ball carrier that time. Cody, number 3, from the single wing. Snap straight back. They try to drive straight ahead. Got a couple. And that's going to be about it. It's going to bring up third about 3.
Well, that's another one of those plays where he got hit real low early, and it looks like he's injured. He was able to push forward even after that initial contact right at the line of scrimmage for a couple of yards. But that low hit may have given him a little bit of an injury here as he is down on the field.
The injured player is Luciano Wallace, the player for the Warriors that has scored the touchdown tonight. I believe that's him, number 23. And, you always worry at this point of the season, leg cramps, and it kind of looks like that's what he has. And as painful and hard as that is to deal with, it beats the heck out of a knee or ankle injury. You're always glad to kind of see him working on the calf muscle whenever it comes to that.
Oh, without a doubt. And that right there is a hydration issue many times, and they'll rub that out and get him some water and some electrolytes, and hopefully he can get back in this ball game. For Jupiter, definitely, though, much better than any type of structural damage that you see so often in knees and even ankles whenever you're talking about cutting to one side or the other running the football.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter, 201 North US Highway 1 in Jupiter. For complete training, lessons, and repairs, phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member, Apple Consultants Network. They're still working on Wallace, and looks like athletic trainer, and I believe the head coach Mussolini out there as well. Pretty good crowd on hand tonight on the home side for the Warriors, and a nice contingency made its way up from Lakes across the way too, and they've taken the lead here. They lead at 12-7 with 6:43 to play in the third quarter, and the question really becomes, can the Jupiter offense find some holes in that Lakes defense? Because really, Bart, the turnover on the interception and then the fact of 2 huge penalties really led to that first touchdown, and you kind of wonder, can Jupiter cut it? You can't really count on that kind of good fortune more than probably once a ball game. So now they're going to have to do it on their own volition. And that has been tough because this Lakes defensive unit really flies to the football.
Well, it looks like Jupiter is going to live and die by the run as well for the most part. They put it up just enough to keep Lakes backed off the line some, but out of that set and those direct snaps to those backs is keeping them pretty singular on the offensive end so far. But of course, they know their personnel, and they know what they're best at, and they'll be trying to depend on what they've got out there on the field to bring them right back in and try to take a lead again in this ball game.
I've been calling high school football games for a lot of years, and this might be the longest period I've ever seen a player down for a leg cramp. Generally, even if they aren't 100%, they will jump up. Here we go. And make their way off the field, but Wallace is up, and I think he'd like to stay, but he's limping pretty good. Looks like they're going to take him out. I know Coach Mussolini probably would rather not take him out. He's been his threat tonight, but that's not the case here. He's going to come off the field. You know, another thing of truism of football, usually if you win the game in the trenches, you'll win the game. And that front line of defensive players for Palm Beach Lakes has done a really good job. They've not got too much at all.
Well, you put together the combination of their line and then some good play by their corners, wrapping up quick.
Nice burst there on the run by, I think that might have been Cody Wilson, and I believe he's got a first down. He's very close if he didn't. It will be a first down. So he just ran off right tackle that time, found a big hole, moves the ball up to the 46-yard line. He needed 2 and he got 4. And the Warriors need to keep this going right here. Here they try the left side and dancing to the outside. The running back spins back. That might have been Wilson again. And driven down shy of the 50-yard line at about the 48. He'll pick up a couple.
He looked like he was going to get away on that play, but he, as soon as the hole opened up, it closed as quick. And that Lakes defense seems to still have pretty good legs out there and still have some good quickness to be able to wrap these guys up before they're able to turn those minimal gains into something.
And a great time to mention
I think that was Carter that might have been the ball carrier on that particular play, but it is going to be marked really at the 49-yard line. It's going to be a little bit better than we thought. He gained about 3 yards. We're going to bring up a third down and a long 7 right here.
And Tracy Touche.
23 is the injured player came out. He's not been back, I don't think, since. Trying to work off the cramps. That's Luciano Wallace. I know they'd like to get him back if they could. So it'll be a second down and 7. I think I said third down, but it's second and 7 after the gain of 3 for the Warriors. Garland is going to get the snap, hands the ball off, and the ball carrier is smothered, came off that left side and nowhere to go, and that was number 3 for Jupiter. Cody Wilson never had a chance to get the motor going. A loss of 4 on that play brings up a third down and 11. Well, that's a big play in this ball game because Jupiter trying to answer back here.
Well, and now in the third and long, almost forced to put the ball in the air. It's going to be a lot tougher to try to pick up 11 yards. We've only seen, I believe, 1 play on the ground, 2 plays on the ground from Jupiter that have equaled 10-plus yards.
Here's Garland back to pass. He's got a man out there, and he's wide open, and he overthrows it. He had number 3 out there, and that was Cody Wilson, and he broke free, but the ball was thrown too far out in front of him. That's a shame because had that hit him in stride, I don't think he would outrun the defense, but that would have been a big completion. As it is, it brings up a 4th and 11 at the 45.
Looked like Garland threw more out, and the receiver was headed toward the sideline. He made a little cut there right as the quarterback let the ball go, which made it pretty much impossible for him to make that catch.
Punting has been a big part of the offense tonight, really, for Jupiter. Sitting field position, good field position. And here's another good booming punt away. Driving the ball carrier all the way back, and the ball's going to hit and go into the end zone. No, it didn't. It went out of bounds at the 1. If they're going to mark it there. What a punt that was. It was a cannon, and the ball carrier, or the return man, just backed away from it and watched it. I think he thought, like I did, it was going to go into the end zone, and then it did not. And I believe they're going to mark that ball at the 1. Wow, what a punt.
Very nice punt again.
55 yards or 54 yards?
Minus that one punt that either went off the right side of his foot or was tipped by the return team. He has had some great punts tonight.
From the 1-yard line.
Well, let's see if the Jupiter defense can get nasty here. Snead is in the gun in his end zone, hands the ball off to number 8, and he runs for a little bit of room and then is brought down, and that's Xavier Carter. And looks like they're going to mark him up at about the 3, so he gained 2. 2nd and 7. 2nd and 8, I'm sorry. Snead hands the ball off to Carter again, an arm tackle, but not before he reaches the 10-yard line. So he'll have 3rd and 1 there.
Big gain there. The middle opened up for him. He saw it right away, took it, and got himself a nice gain. So a manageable 3rd down here for the Rams.
Jupiter really being blown off the ball. Here they hand off to the ball carrier, and that's Coleman, and he is off to the races. Drugged down from behind, a touchdown-saving tackle there by Jupiter. And that might have been Garland that pulled him in, but man, that's saved. And now we've got an injury and another Jupiter player down, a defensive player down at about the 21-yard line, and that'll stop the play. But boy, Palm Beach Lakes got that ball to Coleman, who's been a load tonight, and he just about broke that one for pay dirt. He's drugged down at the 32, so a 22-yard gain gives Lakes a 1st and 10, leading here 12-7.
3 quick plays after being back down to the 1, their own 1-yard line on that nice punt. 3 plays, and all of a sudden they are in much better field position and have a 1st down to boot.
Well, that was an excellent job. We've talked about both these running backs for Palm Beach Lakes have been impressive tonight. Both of their guys out there have been very, very good. Denzel Smith, he's been a load, and J.D. Coleman. I'll tell you what, those guys can play for me, Bart. They both have really carried the mail here tonight.
Yeah, they've definitely been instrumental so far in this game for them, and time running shorter and shorter as we go on here. Just under 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Had a lot of stoppage time so far in tonight's game.
Well, I tell you what, we
A
have
couple injuries,
a fight.
brawl early on in the game, and they had to sort all of that out. Had some official questions, trying to sort things out for them as well. That, and you put the water breaks in, and any timeouts, of course, that the teams call throughout the game, and makes a 48-minute game a little bit lengthy.
Well, we've been here since, been on the air since 7 o'clock. We're approaching the 2-hour mark, and we've still got 3:57 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Of course, you see this so much in the early games when it's so hot, a lot of leg cramps and things, but You know, one thing that I have to say, I haven't seen any Palm Beach Lakes players go down. Their guys are in well-conditioned football team. You haven't seen any cramps come up on those guys.
So far, they've been able to escape the injury bug, and
Cody Wilson was the man that was on the carpet out there, and
First and 10.
he's going to limp off a little bit. So the two leading ball carriers really for the Jupiter offense, both bothered by cramps. And now Lake's looking at a 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. They started this drive at their own one after a 54-yard punt by Jupiter. Here's the snap. Give the ball to Coleman. And he is going to finally go down. Well, he was grabbed, and they tried to pull him down behind the 35-yard line, but he would not go down until he fell forward out to the 37. He gained 5 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 5. Snead in the gun. Hands the ball off to Denzel Smith, and then he is going to get a 1st down on a great second effort.
Just dragging the defender along with him there for the last 2, 3, 4 yards, and pulling him down the field to rack up another 1st down for Palm Beach Lakes, and they are undoubtedly on the drive.
That was a 6-yard gain, and as Mark told you, a lot of it's second effort by Denzel Smith, who kind of tippy-toed along the line until he got a little bit of a seam and let that offensive line, which is winning the battle up front, open a hole for him, and he picked up the 1st down. Finally, they get the chain stretched out on the other side of the field. Here's the give to Denzel Smith again, and he'll drag some players still driving forward as he takes the ball out across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. A gain of 3 or 4 there. Or it'll be 2nd down. 7th play of the drive coming up. Keep in mind, this started at the 1-yard line for Palm Beach Lakes. And now they're looking at a 2nd down, and we'll call it 7. It's a short 7. Snead back to pass, has all day, fires the ball, and underthrows, incomplete. Well, he actually threw it between 2 players. Underthrew one, overthrew one, and it had drawn pretty good pass coverage there by Jupiter to bring up a 3rd down and 7. You know, that was an interesting call after
3rd and 6.
Just dominating.
Well, they had been moving the ball well on the ground there time and time again. Maybe they felt they couldn't go on the ground one more time, that Jupiter would snuff it out, thinking maybe they had drawn the defense up to the line enough to maybe get a big gainer, and didn't work out as the pass was just a little bit offline.
Jupiter needs to snuff it out here. 3rd down and 6 from the 46 of Lakes. Snead is going to get away from pressure. Rolls to his right, throws the ball, and the ball's caught. A good diving catch out there. Leaping into the air, number 18 to come down with it, Rodney Wright, for a 1st down. Nice job by Snead to avoid the blitz there. Jupiter had the right call on, they just couldn't collar him, and the ball is spotted at the 44-yard line of Jupiter. 1st and 10.
Something that I've noticed, their quarterback has been able to escape that pressure pretty well. He's got some good feet, he knows how to handle himself inside and getting out of the pocket, and has been able to create some plays.
Isaiah Snead, and the ball's loose, it's fumbles. Jupiter thinks they got on top of it, did they? They say yes, the officials say yes. They did. And looked like he might be off to the races, and somebody stripped that ball, and the fumble will give it to Jupiter.
Big play there once again. Palm Beach Lakes driving the football, starting all the way down at their own 1-yard line and taking it into Jupiter territory. But the ball just sneaks out of the arms of the ball carrier. Jupiter's able to jump on it. They've got it 1st and 10, and now another opportunity here to take the lead.
Boy, that was a huge play right there, no question about it. Now Jupiter needs to get some offense going. They've had some had some problems in keeping guys on the field because of cramps. Now they've got Xavier Carter out there. Rick Garland calls the plays. Here they're using the single wing as we've seen all game, right up the middle, a little bit of running room, slanting off the right tackle and carrying the ball up to the 35 is the ball carrier, gain of about 3. Bring up second down and 7.
Here's a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7.
And I'm not sure who the ball carrier was that time. Play being signaled in from the Jupiter sideline. Minute and a half left to play, third quarter, 12-7, Lakes with the lead. Garland looks at the play on his wristband, barks the signals. Snap goes to Wilson, I believe, and he tippy-toes, gets out there and stops, and he can't do that. So he stopped for little or no gain. That might have been Carter, I believe, that tried to carry that ball. Or Cody Wilson is Cody back here. It was Carter. Okay, that's what I thought initially. And he did gain a couple.
Not a couple.
We'll call it third down and 5 at the 37. Big third down play here for Jupiter. They don't want to give that ball back to a Lakes offense that was motoring before the fumble. Already leading 12-7.
Time's starting to wind down. 35 seconds left to play here in the third quarter.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. A little misdirection by Jupiter, and the ball carrier is going to be stopped up and around the 40-yard line. He'll gain about 2.5, maybe 3, but it's going to bring up a 4th and 2. And that might be the last play of the fourth quarter as the clock is down to 12 seconds. They did mark it at the 4:40, and it is 4th and 2 after a gain of 3. And the clock is going to run out. And we have played 3 quarters at Jupiter High School. Palm Beach Lakes on top of Jupiter, 12-7.
And now, Warriors fans, give up for your Jupiter High School Warrior cheerleader roll call.
After the fumble by Jupiter, Palm Beach Lakes
Paige Holloway.
They went in from the 42 yards. They covered the 42 yards in 4 plays.
Sidney Walsh.
Lewis on a 29-yard pass reception to Sneed. And that score. They went for 2, and for the second time tonight, that's where we are at right now, Bart.
Lexus Sheridan.
12-7 with Lakes
Sophie
in the lead.
Garcia.
And Jupiter now going to have to come all way again to that
Katie Walter.
pretty impressive Lakes offense.
Well, right here we will start the first
Brianna Lyons.
with Lakes
Kristen
having the
Henderson.
lead, 12
Lexi Del Castro.
Other
Savannah
places
Whistler.
in the area, other games in the
Jeannie
area, Palm Beach
Lemieux.
Gardens.
And Amanda Pike. Let's hear it for your cheerleaders.
John Leonard in the second quarter. Forest Hill plays in Grove tonight. No score there.
Don't take no sign of this quarter, you know what I mean? We made it, barely.
On to punt, waiting the snap, and the kick is a good high kick, but it doesn't take a favorable Jupiter bounce here and is down as it skipped back. And it looks like our punter is Jonathan Jerez, number 2. And we haven't called his name a lot tonight. Because we didn't, I wasn't able to pick up his number till now, but he's had a good game, and that was not a strong punt there. He's had a couple of boomers, but this one is at the 44-yard line, so Lakes going to have very good field position to start this drive. Keep in mind, they started the last drive at their own 1-yard line and coughed it up on a fumble. Sneed is in the shotgun. He's got twin receivers to each side of the field. Looks like he might want to throw the ball. Hands instead to Denzel Smith, and then he is grabbed, and he is hard to arm tackle. You hit him up high around the shoulder pads. He's a load to bring down. But whoever grabbed him initially, and it might have been Garland, held on until he got some help, but he did then take it up to the 45, so it's a gain of 1, second down and 9.
Brings up a 2nd and 10.
Sneed has trips on the far side, a lone receiver on the near side. The man on the near side is Chauncey White. Likes to go to White. Denzel Smith in the backfield. They like to run out of this after they spread the field too. And Denzel Smith has been a very tough guy to bring down out of this. Here's the snap, and they give it to Smith, and the big holes. He cuts back, and he almost ran right through an arm tackle. It's going to bring up a 3rd down play.
Nice job in the middle by the defense. Wide open. Number 8, Xavier Carter, maybe, who's in the middle there on the tackle.
3rd and 6, Rick. 3rd and 6, Rams. Let's hear for the Warrior defense.
Saving a bunch of yards.
Picked up 3. It's 3rd down and 6. A big play here for the Jupiter defense, and they want to hang in this ball game. Snead in the gun. He's got Trips on the far side, a single man on the bottom, and he's got Smith on his left shoulder. Snap is high. Gives the ball to Denzel Smith. The big hole. He's got a 1st down as he dives straight ahead. He was upset with himself that he went down. He saw a huge hole in front of him. Boy, he is explosive, and he just took off like a jet and got the 1st down easily.
And a big run by
Definitely,
Smith.
as soon as he gets that football and sees where he wants to go, he hits it, and he hits it fast. And big game there on a big down, getting them the 1st down, keeping the drive alive, killing some clock, which Jupiter may need right now, and also keeping that Jupiter defense on the field.
That was an 11-yard gain. Snead is in the shotgun. He will hand to Smith, and he is hit, and he escapes, didn't go down. He's going to get plus yardage out of that. He should have lost 5, and he just wouldn't go down, put his hand down, kept his balance. They shot the gap that time, did the Jupiter defense, and it still didn't work as he picked up 4. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 6. All down at the 38-yard line of Jupiter. Snead is in the shotgun. Trips on the near side. Even though they've shown that they've run all night, really, hard out of this passing-looking offense. Looks like they're going to pass, but they run out of it very effective.
It's almost gives him an option. He checks off a lot of times and then decides to run just at the very last moment. Timing attempt there out of his hands. That'll bring up another 3rd down for the Lakes offense, and Jupiter desperately need to stop here as we're down to the 9-minute mark there. Jupiter still trailing by 5.
Can't get the defense off the field. Let's see what they'll do here. Snead is in the gun, and they may have, that might be Coleman in the backfield with him now as they're going to arrest Denzel Smith. Trips on the near side. Single man on the far. A little different look this time. And they're going to hand the ball off to Coleman. Dances to the outside. Gets a block. Gets a 1st down. Still on his feet as he takes the ball down inside the 30 to about the 25-yard line.
Another big run by Palm Beach Lakes on 3rd down. Jupiter getting their chances here in this quarter and on this drive to stop Lakes and take the ball back over, or at least force a 4th down play, but both times here recently, Lakes on 3rd down been able to come through.
Absolutely. And now they've got both the running backs back there with Snead. I don't think there's any question what they're going to do here. Hand it to one of them. Smith backs up. Long snap count. That's Coleman in motion. Give the ball to Smith. Bounces back to the right. Runs over a tackler. Still on his feet. Driving. And he's going to be just shy of the 1st down. Boy, he has run. He smells that end zone down there. He is a hard runner, and he picked up about 9 on the carry.
Gain of 9 on the play by Denzel Smith.
They are out-muscling that Jupiter defense right now and getting very, very close to another score. Jupiter needing to stop the advancement of the ball and hopefully get a stop here to stay in this game.
Ball to 16, and they hand it off straight ahead, and they've got the 1st down. Was that Smith again?
Carry
It was.
Smith.
He doesn't mind it. He loves the work on the 1st and or the 2nd and 1. He's got the 1st down.
Short, stocky football player, able to hit that line and just keep going. And looks like he has some strength to get through some of the defenders and the speed to run past them as well.
Football's at the 13-yard line. Snead took most of the offense over to the sideline, and now he's got the play as he brings it back out. Clock down to 7:52, 12-7. Palm Beach Lakes with the lead, and they're on the march. They're on the move. And if they get a score here, it's going to be very, very difficult for Jupiter.
Jupiter's going to have to run a much quicker offense trying to get down the field if Lakes sticks this one in the end zone. If they can hold them to a field goal, which we haven't seen Lakes even attempt to kick tonight yet, so I'm guessing they're going to go for it on 4th down even and try to stick the ball in the end zone.
Snap is high, give the ball to Coleman, and he's grabbed by the shirt by one of the interior linemen for Jupiter. I think that was 74, Elliott Rowe. It was. Elliott got hold of his shirt, wouldn't let him go, and actually dropped him for a loss on the play of 1. Back to the 14th. 10th play of the drive coming up, 2nd down and 11. Snead in the gun. He's got trips on the far side of the field, and it didn't look like everybody was set that time. They give the ball to Coleman, no flags. It looked to me like there was movement on the right side from one of the receivers, but the official didn't see it that way, so definitely not. The ball spotted at on the 12, so gain of 2, 3rd and 9. 11th play of the drive coming. Snead in the gun. Trip receivers, far side again. He's got Coleman on his left shoulder. Goes through some hand signals at the line of scrimmage. Gets a high snap, and now a flag is thrown. He fires the ball out. Coleman incomplete. We'll see what that flag's about. We might have offsides against Palm Beach Lakes. Now, the question is, are you able to decline that and get it to 4th down? It is illegal procedure. And I think now they're going to talk to Jupiter. That's a tough call. That's one I kind of think that a lot of people think you really ought to ask the coach here. But of course, it usually is relayed by the team. They are going to decline it and get 4th down. I don't think that's a bad play here.
No, now Lakes really has to make a decision because if they have a kicker, they have a chance here to make this an 8-point ball game, which means not only does Jupiter have to stick the ball in the end zone, but they have to convert a 2-point conversion for the tie. But a touchdown, of course, all but puts this game out of reach. The way defense has been going and the pace of this game so far.
4th and 9. Snead in the gun. Palm Beach Lakes trying to put this one in the win column. And again, it looked like they had people moving prior to the snap of the ball, and they did. But remember, 3 plays ago, I thought I saw a guy move. There was not a flag that time, but the last 2 times there has been.
Well, they got away with it once, but...
so this time they won't, because this time it gets called, even though it's 4th down. And they're trying to figure out they're going to set that ball back at, looks like, the 17-yard line, where it's now 4th down and call it 14.
A much more difficult play here. They do have a little bit of room for a 1st down.
Coleman is in the backfield. No Denzel Smith. Trip receivers on the far side. Single man on the near. Snead gets the snap, drops back, looking, still looking, fires for the corner, and the ball is caught, but out of bounds. It was caught out there by pick number 21, and that's Stephen Lewis, but he was out of bounds when he came down with it, and Jupiter has held.
Jupiter does what they need to do. They don't let Palm Beach Lakes score. Now, the offense needs to take over, put together a good drive, and they need to shove this one in the end zone.
They will take over the football
First and 10
on the 17-yard line. So they've got 83 yards they need to go. Can they do it in 5:54? Single wing set. They've used it all night. Griff Garland calls the plays. It looks like they're going to send trip receivers, or at least twin receivers on the near side, and now too many men on the field, and they're going to start 5 yards further back. Boy, you can't have that.
Not at this juncture in the game.
Those kind of penalties they will just kill a coach. So right away, you're going to start 2nd and 15 back at your own 12. Now you got to go 88 yards. Not that it can't be done, but this Palm Beach Lakes defensive unit, the way they fly to the ball, you're going to have to try to fool somebody somewhere if you're going to get a big play here. Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach. We'll set your course for financial security. Phone 561-596-2743. Tonight's game is also watched in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the South of Jupiter at 201 North US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Computer training, lessons, and repairs. Phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member Apple Consultants Network.
Juniors and parents of
Other
juniors.
scores around the area. Lake Worth beating Jackson Beach in the fourth quarter, 14-7.
This year's class dues are
South Fork and Martin County in the close one in the third quarter. South Fork down by 2, 20-22. Lakeland beating Treasure Coast 22-6. Royal Palm Beach beating Palm Beach Central at Palm Beach Central 7-3. American Heritage beating Atlantic in the third quarter 10-0. And Boynton and Cardinal Newman knotted up at 21.
Wow, some good football games tonight. A close one here, but Jupiter trails by 5. They need to get the offense going, and they're going to start 5 yards in the hole, looking at a 1st and 15 from their own 12-yard line. They will try to run the ball up the middle, and the game looks like out to about the 16, 17-yard line. Got back to about the original line.
Looking like they're going to be just shy of the original line of scrimmage.
Got up to 16, a gain of 4. We're 2nd down and 11.
How much difference does it sound like that in the mic? It's huge.
Jupiter looking for something to get outside where they can get some running room. They got to pick up a lot of yardage in a hurry. Garland is going to take it. He's going to drop back to pass. Gets flushed. Now takes off to run. He's got some room. He's going to get over the corner, but he's struck down. But I think he got a first down.
That's a name we've heard a lot, Stephen Lewis.
Yes, we have.
Tearing it up on both sides of the football tonight so far, and big saving tackle there, but seems as though, once again, the speed of the Palm Beach Lakes defense able to close that gap and shut them down before they were able to break loose and turn that into a score.
14-yard pickup by Garland, who wanted to pass, and now it looks like we're going to have some type of a timeout. Now, whether this is an actual called timeout or a water break, we don't know, but we'll keep it.
And don't forget Jupiter.
Looks like an injury.
It's
5:10 to go.
Looks like another injury.
Brought to you by the Big W Sports Network. In your web
Yeah, it's across the way there, and it is another Jupiter player that's down. That's the 3rd one tonight that we have seen go down, evidently because of another cramp, and there goes the young lady across.
And don't
To
forget
assist.
Jupiter Agricultural September 28th.
Well, I mentioned Barton, next Friday night rivalry, although it's not been much of a rivalry. It's a battle right here in Jupiter. Dwyer,
Proceeds go to Jupiter High School Sports.
always a tough football program, and Jupiter, and the game will be played at Dwyer High School.
Dwyer, not just a state powerhouse, but really a national powerhouse. And
Yep, I believe they're one of the Florida teams that's rated ranked nationally in the top 30 anyway.
certainly are, but that does not deter Jupiter from wanting to beat them. And
No.
being here for the all sports meeting the other night, they really wanted to make it a point to say that all around they truly believe their sports programs are at least as good, maybe even better than Dwyer's overall, and I'm sure they would love nothing more than to be able to take on that team and knock them off in a big upset.
But that will be a tall order, a bunch of D1 players on that Dwyer ball club. But we should have all the action for you. We hope that you will enjoy it here on the Big W Sports Network.
Like you said, Dwyer opened up their season tonight against Glade Central, another Florida power who's definitely sent some players not only to the collegiate ranks but also the NFL, and Dwyer has the advantage in that one, 21-0.
I believe that was the ball carrier, Griff Garland, that was shaken up on that play, and he's going to have to come out. Now what do you do, Bart? Because that's the guy who, if you do try to throw the ball, has kind of been the guy that's been the quarterback.
And you're getting to the point here with 5:10 to play, still in your own territory, where it may be necessary to put the ball in the air.
Xavier Carter's back in the game. See him out there trying to pick up the runners will be. And it looks like, though, they're going to send the Twins, to the near side, a single man on top, and a single setback. So
Different formation.
it is, and I don't know if we're going to have a quarterback trying to pick up. Again, very difficult to pick up these numbers. It looks like they're going to go with the single wing setup, and they snap the ball, and immediately the ball carrier smothered. He didn't even have time to hardly catch that ball. That was unbelievable, the blocking breakdown up front.
Well, they ran two guys in on the blitz there. They just jumped right through that offensive line of Jupiter, and they were on the quarterback before he could even set his feet.
Loss of 5 brings up a second down and 15. 4:16 left to go. This Lakes defense has played pretty good football tonight. And Lakes will try to defend the run, and a short run by Jupiter, a gain of a yard and a half. That's going to bring up 3rd and long. Looks like they're going to mark him at the 26, so a gain of just 1. 3rd down and 14.
Now Jupiter put into a position where they're almost forced to put the ball up in the air and try to pick up this first down, because field position not real conducive to going for it, but we are getting down with just over 3.5 to play, to where they may have to try this on 4th down if they don't make it here.
They are going to try to throw, and they're going to fire the ball. They've got a man in the open, and he runs on the ball. He's got the 10 to the 30, at the 20, he's at the 10, the 5, touchdown, Jupiter! My goodness, what a great ball, and on the reception, number 3, Corey Wilson. Now, out of nowhere, 3rd and long. On that play, beat the guy off the line, dead sprint toward the end zone, the ball put right on the mark. He outran the defenders, beat him to the end zone for a touchdown. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Jupiter has the lead. Might as well go for 2 here, because kicking the extra point does you no good at all.
Especially at this juncture in the game, just in case Lakes drives the ball and they get into a position where, if they have a kicker, they can put it up and tie this game up, or they can win the game if Jupiter just went for the conversion. So important 2-point conversion here to make it to where a field goal will only tie.
Well, here we go. Jupiter's going to go for 2 to try to take a 3-point lead. They're going to try to throw for it. The pass is out there. They got a man open, but he couldn't get high enough. The ball was thrown a little bit over.
And now your score.
Top.
Your
Is your score. And boy, what a pass thrown right on the money. Caught by Wilson. He takes it in for the score to kind of stun Palm Beach Lakes, because they hadn't shown anything like that offensively all night.
Well, and even though they had a first down on that drive, weren't really moving the ball very quickly, and that just caught everybody by surprise.
What did that remind you of? You and I went to
Seth Morales back in.
well, or really the Dwyer game that we saw a year ago in the playoffs against Boyd Anderson. Yeah, the 3-0 for almost the whole game, and then right at the end, the guy gets open and catches about a 45-yard touchdown. Very reminiscent of that. Boyd Anderson had no offense all night except
they were definitely a defensive powerhouse, and that big offensive play. And that was the ball game, just like this one could be right here if the Jupiter defense can do their job and stick up legs. This is an all-important kickoff right here.
plenty of time.
Definitely try and pin them as deep as possible and not give them any chance to start with really good field position.
Plenty of time for Lakes here. 3:20. Jupiter's defense has bent but not broken much here in the second half, but they're going to really be tested now. We've talked about the mark of good teams answering the call. We've seen it out of both of these teams tonight. It's a shame somebody's going to lose this when they both put it all on the field.
It's definitely been an exciting ball game.
Here's the kick, and it's a pooch kick, going to be fielded at the 25, and the lane opens down the side, and we are going to see a touchdown run back. All the way back, number 21, Stephen Lewis. And we had a call for a blocking in the back at the 40-yard line, but it did not come, and Lakes takes it 75 yards on the return. No, they are going to call it.
The holding was right here on the near side, right by the Jupiter bench. Whenever you look back on it, you're going to wonder, did that hold impact the play? Was that guy going to be able to stop
I think it did.
the runner? And
my look on that was that it did, because he wasn't outside yet when I saw that, when I saw the sideline screaming for it. But as a coach, you certainly hope so. I know Willie Sneed III, the head coach at Palm Beach Lakes, certainly hopes that it aided the player, because if it didn't, oh, that's a tough
penalty to take right there, because that is taking 6 points right off the board, right after Jupiter's big strike, taking the lead, and that has got to be pretty demoralizing at this point in the game.
Well, Barton, I didn't talk about it, but rather than see that pooch kick or kickoff in the air, I'd rather see that thing scribbed along the ground. It's a lot harder to get that kind of return, because he just took that ball on the sideline, cut to the outside, and it's gone. Okay, Sneed with 3:10 to work. We started his own 30. He's got to go 70 yards for some kind of a score. Rolls to his right, pulls the ball, has a man out there. He's got the catch and out of bounds. Number 5 hauls it in, and that's Brown along that sideline. And we'll have to check here and see where they're going to mark him.
Looks like they're going to give him about 6 on the play.
Yep. Gets him up to the 36. We'll call it 2nd and 3. Sneed's got trips on the near side, a single man on the far. He will hand the ball off. Look out, Coleman. And Coleman's got a first down, but then he's wrestled to the ground out across the 40.
Big run by Katie.
So far, first 2 plays big for Palm Beach Lakes. They get out of bounds whenever they didn't get the first down, so they stop the clock there. Then the first down stops the clock for them here, and they still have 3 minutes to work with just 57 yards to go.
Good clock management. 1st and 10 from the 43. And they give the ball off to Coleman, another big hole, and another first down as he takes it into Jupiter territory, and a flag flies late, does it not? Yes, a late flag, and that you don't like to see, because usually that's a face mask call. So that might get tacked on here with 2:46 to play. It is a face mask. That's what I thought. That's the first one tonight that's been on Jupiter, but it's been on this particular drive after the ball was taken to 45, so it came at 12, and now the penalty added on, and the football resting at the 35-yard line of Jupiter, 1st and 10 with 2:46 to play. Jupiter leading 13-12. Sneed in the shotgun.
Looking across the field, they're trying to find a kicker, maybe warming up, but no
Coleman, again a hole as he takes it to the 30 as he picks 5 up.
That was such sight to be seen and looking on this Palm Beach Lakers roster. And who their kicker might be, but not seeing them missing.
They're not thinking about that right now. Snead got a high snap, throws the ball, and he missed a long open. Stephen Lewis, as he threw high, and that was off the block, and it's incomplete, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 5. But this is 4 down territory, regardless of what happens with 2:12 to go, I would think.
Oh, certainly. I mean, there are a whole lot of high school kickers that are going to make this type of field goal if they were going to go from the 30-yard line, even a 47-yard.
Right. Snead in the gun. He's got trips on the bottom. He looks right, looks left, looks right. Still running, has time. Now a flag is on the ground, and he is going to run it and take it out of bounds at the 20-yard line, but this is probably going to be a hold, I would think. As from where this flag is, that's what we think. Totally. You can almost tell those you watch enough football. Oh, what an exciting finish.
And Palm Beach Lakes just shooting themselves in the foot here in the last few minutes of this football game. The holding penalty that calls back the touchdown. The big hold right there that calls back the gainer that would have taken them down to the 20 and given them another 1st down. And now instead of the 1st down, they're looking at 3rd and very long to try and get back into this game.
Football is on the way back out at the 42-yard line. It is 3rd down and call it 17. In the gun, trips on the near side. Single receiver on the far. Jupiter would like to come up with a turnover here. And stepping offside was one of the linemen for Jupiter. That'll move it 5 yards closer for Lakes.
Now's not the time you want to be making those mistakes and giving up
5-yard offside.
So hopefully they can right that and play some clean football here in the last 2:02.
And now the ball's at the 37-yard line. 3rd down and 12.
Definitely getting into this football game.
Snead in the gun. And he hands the ball off in a big hole for Coleman, and he is going to be short of the 1st down as he's drugged out at the 30.
Gain of 10 yards by Coleman.
Got 7, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 3, I believe. No, a little more than that. 4th and 5.
Looking about 5. It's much more manageable than 4th and 12 or 13 there, but
Minute 40.
It is.
This is the ball game for Jupiter. Snead in the gun. Will what a pass. Drops back, a lot of time. There's it out. Throws the ball up under throws. Picked up by Jupiter. Intercepted by the Warriors in the end zone. It'll come out to the 20 with a minute 26 to go. He had a lot of time to throw that football, but Jupiter had it and the Warriors lead at 13-12 with a minute 26 to go.
That should be all but it. Cut it back and bring the ball out to their own 20-yard line. Should be able to.
Now the question is how many timeouts Lakes has. That's right.
Because if they do have 3 timeouts, there is a chance here. Because Jupiter will have to run some plays, and they're really 1 first down away.
That is true. Yeah, 1st down would pretty well put this one in the books, but if the question is how many timeouts Lakes has, and a timeout is taken here, and it's a water break, which they needed that tonight.
For much of the football season down here in Florida, they definitely do need those water breaks. You get your cool days, but once we get into late October and November, even then you can have those evenings that are humid, and the water breaks meant to keep these kids safe and make sure they stay hydrated and try to limit the cramps and injuries, and definitely don't want any heat-related injuries to come out of it.
Make sure you're on the winning team when it comes to your financial future. Contact Richard Lepore at Signature Financial Solutions at 1375 Gateway Boulevard in Boynton Beach and set your course for financial security. Phone 561-596-2743. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by Cobalt Computer Consultants, located in the shops of Jupiter at 201 North US Highway 1 in Jupiter for computer training, lessons, and repairs. Phone 561-623-0533 or 561-880-5685. Member.
Let's hear it for your Jupiter Warriors. Bruce Ed on the 20-yard line.
Jupiter Warriors will come up leading here 13-12. An exciting first game of the season.
Definitely been what it was billed. This was supposed to be a very close game. It doesn't get much closer than this, 13-12.
And a straight off snap and just taking the ball straight ahead and carrying it up to the 25-yard line as the ball carrier for Jupiter. So a gain of 5 will bring up a second down and 5. And the clock is stopped with 1:18 to play.
Lakes, of course, immediately taking their timeouts. And try to keep any possible time left on the clock if they can prevent Jupiter from getting a first down. Trying to give themselves a chance to still win this ball game.
Well, it's very important to try to pick up that first down. That would pretty well ice this ball game. And boy, what a nice job there to gain about 5 yards in traffic. But the big weapon of this night might still turned out to be Jonathan Jerez, who's really booted some big punts tonight, and he may still be the weapon to put this one away if Jupiter can hang on here.
Yeah, if Lakes plays some good defense here and stops Jupiter on a 3 and out, it will be kind of up to the foot of this Jupiter punter, and if he can put a good punt together and pin him deep, it'll make it very, very difficult for Lakes to pull this one out.
Single wing has been the offensive choice tonight for Jupiter. We're going to stay with it, and jumping both sides is Lakes, and that might be a first down. And if it is, that might result in these. It's going to be very close.
It's going to be just short.
They may need to measure this.
Offside Rams.
It wasn't penalty.
What do we got?
Oh my gosh, there.
That is really
I think
close.
you bring the chains on that one, don't you think? I mean, looking across the way, it
Well,
appears
this
to
is
be
a big
inches.
play. It's a very, very big play. It's the ball game if it's a first down, barring something strange. But Lakes would still have a shot.
This crew is saying it is inches short at the.
3rd and inches, Jupiter.
We got to call it to 29, where it is 3rd down, and we're going to call it, or 2nd down. I'm sorry, and 1, but a short one. This is where you might think about really bringing Griff Garland up and putting him under center and just letting him drive forward. Still 1:02 left to play. The officials, I'm surprised. Bart, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Coach Usolini have the option to ask for a measurement here? Can he come on, or is that not the case?
I don't know how that works. It looks like he's trying to lobby for that right now. He's in the ear of the official, but I don't know if they're going to grant him that request or not.
Now they're going to walk off.
Bringing in number 54, Richie Effler. He looks like he's got a little bit of size to him. Maybe stick him on the line to help the push, or maybe even give the ball to him and see if he can gain those few inches that they need for that first down.
Where's Refrigerator Perry when you need him, right? Here's the situation. 62 seconds left in this football game, and it's been a dandy. 13-12, Jupiter with the lead. Hit a home run
118.
play to go up on a long pass play to take the lead. Went for 2, didn't get it. That's kind of been the norm tonight. Neither team really has, I don't think, tried to even kick an extra point. But that put
Jupiter hit their first one.
No, that's right. You're right. You're correct.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that's a big point in this game. That is the game. Right.
Lakes, like I said, we haven't seen a kicker warm up, and I'm looking on their roster. I don't even see one listed, but I'd imagine they have somebody that they'd go to if they really just needed one. But
Second
did have
and
to
inches, Jupiter.
adjust
Ball
the
at the
clock
40-yard
right
line.
here. They put 16 more seconds on the clock. So a minute 18 left to play now.
Minute 18. Jupiter looking at a 2nd and inches. And there's the first down as he takes it out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. And that should seal the deal. Was that number 3, Cody Wilson, that carried it? No, number 5, Jerome Davis. And that is a first down, and that should.
Lakes does go ahead and take their timeout, but yeah, Jupiter should be able to pretty much just kneel on this from this point and seal this victory.
Well, you would think so. Football actually is marked out at the 37-yard line, so that was a pickup of 8 yards on the carry there and a huge first down for the Jupiter Warriors. Trying to hang on. They were 1-8 a year ago, and they're trying to start off the season 1-0 here in what all the prognosticators, Bart said, would be a close, tight, evenly matched ball game, and boy, it has been.
It definitely has been. Lakes kind of started this game out with after the 2 3-and-outs by both teams. Lakes put together a good drive, just couldn't stick it in the end zone. Then Jupiter with the interception. After the interception, scoring the first touchdown of the game, taking the lead. That held up with Lakes not being able to convert the 2-point conversion and going for 2, so it was 7-6 then at half. And then Lakes able to put the ball in the end zone one more time in the third quarter, taking that lead. But the big 74-yard strike by Jupiter put them on top 13-12, and that's where we stand right now.
And here's the snap straight ahead, a short gain, maybe a yard or so, but that's really not important. And now the clock is stopped, and this ought to be the last time out that Lakes has. This is the third, and with 1:05 to play, this should be the last time out they've got. That was a gain of about 2. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 with the football resting at the 39-yard line.
Here's where Jupiter will make a decision. They may not just kneel on it. They may still try to get some forward yardage and make it take a little bit more time for those officials to spot that football and take as much time off the clock as possible. They'll just try to cover it up, take care of the football, and hope they can run out the clock here without having to try to kick it away one more time.
Heroes, there's been a bunch of them, but how about that 74-yard touchdown bomb that Wilson pulled in to give the Jupiter Warriors the lead here, 13-12, and now they're just trying to put the finishing touches on this one.
Were we able to see who had thrown that ball on that 74-yard strike? Because the regular quarterback, I guess you'd call him, Garland, had just came out because he was hurt.
Right. I know they had 40 in, and I thought I saw number 10, but it's too difficult to pick up. There was a short carry there up to the 40-yard line. It's now 3rd down and 7. But with 46 seconds left to play, I think they can take a knee. They're going to go into the victory formation. 3rd down and call it 8. Really no gain on that last play. Football still at the 40. And they do take the knee, and the clock will count down. Lakes Rams the teams make their way off of the field, and the first game of the year belongs to Jupiter. 13-12, a 10 from behind win, and the hero of this one, Wilson, who pulls in the 75-yard touchdown pass with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the football game to give Jupiter the hard-fought 1-point victory, 13-12. And boy, what an opening broadcast on the Big W Sports Network. Bart, we couldn't ask for a better game.
Definitely an enjoyable football game. We'd hoped that we'd see one. Everybody had said that these were two pretty evenly matched teams. It ended up being a game that everything was played out the way it was billed, and the home team, Jupiter, coming out on top and starting this season off 1-0, and now they'll try to carry some momentum into next week's challenge.
Okay, that's going to pretty well wrap it up for our broadcast tonight. I'd like to thank Justin Hedges, who did a yeoman's job on the camera tonight. By golly, he's as good as Bill, Bart. Excellent job, and it was fun doing it. It's a pleasure for me to get a call a game with my son and have it come out in this fashion, 13-12, the final score. And Jupiter is victorious. Next Friday night, we'll have the Dwyer-Jupiter game from Dwyer. And for Justin Hedges and Bart Weibel, I'm Brett Weibel saying so long. Till next time.